All right, we're back up and live.
Oh, I got it that time. I know I got it that time. Suck it. That's a cheat though, because I was prompted.
That was my fault, guys. I've noticed that every time my OBS locks up, is the streaming software that I use. Every time it locks up, it's because of the fact that I'm ending, or I'm trying to switch over to the other screen. So I'm thinking there's some kind of problem with my Stream Deck and the inputs that are going through all at once to switch over to the other page. So I'm going to try and maybe slow that process down a little bit here. In fact, let me just try a couple times. We'll do a little test here and just kind of see what happens when I do this. Let's see, if I just press just one button, it should take you to the other screen. I shouldn't even have to press the other two. What happens if I take you back? They stay there. That may be the issue. So, because if I press the other two and then I take you back, I think stuff is missing. Yeah. All right. I think I know how to fix this. I think I know how to resolve this so that perhaps maybe the commands aren't overloading OBS and it faults out like it's been doing. So hopefully we can fix this. But let's get on with the numbers again here and see what we got going on for the day today. Starting with price prediction tally points, nobody missed yesterday, so everybody got a point. Price predictions for the day today. Remember, this is not meant as financial advice. It's just simply four apes trying to get their price predictions as close as possible as a friendly bet between ourselves. And just to kind of stay sharp on where we think price is moving towards. Tex has 470 to 570. He's got the low end of the totem pole today. Twisty has 478 to 578. Apex has 482 to 582. And I have 488 to 588. We have an 18-cent spread between us. Nobody is eligible for an extra bonus point off of unless they hit directly on their price prediction for the day. And yeah, that's where we're at. Short exempt volume was 634,000 shares that went through there. We had a little bit more volume than I think I was anticipating originally. Going through, what do we have? I think it was like 24 million shares traded yesterday. Taking a look at max pain, actually utilization is at 68.48%. We'll take a look at those numbers here in a minute, but it was down 10% with the on loan amount increasing. So we'll talk about maybe some of the reasons as to why that could be the case. Max pain is at $5. It increased yesterday from $4.50 to $5. And let's take a look at this off-exchange volume for the day. See where we're at. Normally by this time of the day, I would expect off-exchange to be about 44% going through there, and EDGX to be somewhere between 11 and 12%. We currently have off-exchange at 66.38%. EDGX is coming in at 7.74. The combined total 74.12%. That's approximately 20.12% higher than I would expect it to be by this time of the day. CHX volume is 0. GME CHX volume for the day today is coming in at 2,839 shares. Short volume, or not short volume, borrow fees. I don't even think I looked at this morning. I think I forgot to look at this morning. That's okay, because the numbers are still there from yesterday. Let's see how many shares were borrowed so far from last night. We had about 100,000 shares borrowed here, and then they returned them back, borrowed them out again, but this time only 50,000, so 150, then 300, so 450, 550, 657, so 700,000 shares borrowed so far this morning. Yesterday was 1 million shares, according to IBKR. And there's currently 1.1 million shares available with fees at 1.62%. Taking a look at institutional shares, we did see that go down a little bit according to Fintel. It was like 85.402 yesterday. It's 401 today. Very small change. No change in that now. Let's take a look at options. Highest amount of call volume so far for the day today is at a strike price of $5.50. That's where it was yesterday. 2.6 thousand contracts so far in volume. Highest amount of put volume is at a $5 strike. That's where it was yesterday. There's 2.3 thousand contracts in volume so far for the day today. We're kind of on a light volume day on option contracts. Nothing wrong with that. Taking you guys over to the other screen here. I will move a couple screens around and we'll take a look at the rest of the data. Starting with off exchange. So far for the day today, off exchanges are reporting 4.49 million shares borrowed for AMC. It's going to cause the estimated short share interest of the free float to rise to 15.91%. Cost per borrow ends at 2.73, averages 2.74, max 3.34. Let's take a look at what some of our day-over-day numbers look like on the chart. Here's our utilization decreasing day over day from essentially 78.97% to 68.48%, and that 10% decrease, 10.5% decrease in utilization, which is a really, really big drop, considering the fact that the on-loan amount actually increased from 74.89 million shares to 81.43, which is an increase by 6.54 million shares. The kind of things that would cause this to occur is institutions buying shares in the marketplace. If institutions have shares available to be borrowed, that's going to increase the amount of shares that are available. Another thing that could potentially cause that to happen is utilization going down. Is not only institutions buying shares, but dilution would cause that to drop. But I'm not saying that's been the case, but I'm just trying to give you some examples of what could cause that. What else could cause it? Nothing's coming out to me out of the top of my head, but I'm sure there's a couple other situations that I could probably come up with if I thought about it long enough. But my guess is that somebody made more shares available to be borrowed somehow or another. You can figure out that value. You can reverse math it and figure out what the difference is to see how many more shares were made available. Let me do that real quick here. I'll pull up a calculator and look at it real fast, just because I am kind of curious about what the change is. 74.89. $78.97. So yesterday, and I'll write the number down here, we had Ortex was reporting that there was 94.83 million shares available to be borrowed. 94.83. Today, Ortex is suggesting that there is 118.91. Which means, anybody going to be surprised if it's 23 million shares? Let's see here, minus 94.83. Oh my God, it's 24 million shares. You know what it is? I know exactly what it is. Anybody? Anybody know what that 24 million additional shares is that's available to be borrowed all of a sudden? Anybody? You got to know what this is. Somebody's going to put it in here. I know somebody's going to be paying attention enough to know. Come on. Somebody's got to know the answer. Am I live? The Reconstitution by Tyler. Thank you very much. Yes. That was almost that's off by a million shares. There's a million share difference between what we saw in a single order of, it was about 23 million shares. And now they're showing 24 million available shares more to be borrowed. You're absolutely exactly right. Reconstitution is exactly what it is. That is it. You nailed it. That's what that is. The reason that the utilization dropped as much as it is because there's more shares available to be borrowed now. I hate ETFs. I hate them with a passion. I really do. It's not how the market's supposed to be ran. But anyways, let's take a look and keep on moving on here. It's nice to be able to figure out what it is, right? Like at least we know what it is now and why it happened. Moving on. Taking a look at estimated short share interest of the free float. It obviously with more shares being loaned out, we will see a change in that rising. It rose from 15.14 to 15.59. The on-loan average age per day is going to decrease as a result, and it went from 30.05 down to 27.85. Security lending volume slightly increasing day over day from, let's see here, 16.31 million shares to 18.44. Yep. You nailed it. You got it right on the dot. Reconstitution. SSR trigger price for the day-to-day on AMC is at $4.69. Let's scroll down and see if the options are showing. I didn't show them earlier this morning. They are back up on this screen now. They look probably right. 30.6 thousand contracts out of the money on the calls versus 1.1 thousand contracts that are in the money. 26.2 thousand contracts are out of the money on the puts versus 1.7 thousand contracts that are in the money. Taking a look at GME, our SSR trigger price for the day is $21.58, and there is approximately 81.4 thousand contracts out of the money on the calls versus 3.2 thousand contracts that are in the money. 27.2 thousand contracts are out of the money on the puts versus 7.2 thousand contracts that are, in the money. Orders by Fidelity customers. AMC and GME are the only two I'm looking for on this list. GME is on here with a 52.12% buy to 47.88% sell ratio. AMC is not on the list. MMRI. Whoa, look at that drop. All right. MMRI suddenly dropped all of a sudden. This is about where we were last week before we started seeing the big rise. Let's see. The last time we saw the 10-year yields at these rates was back on the 26th of June. When was that exactly? 26th of June was, a week ago. So something happened. Something happened over a week ago. Rates were dropping and then suddenly rose, especially over the weekend, and now they're suddenly massively dropping. So MMRI a while ago, earlier this morning when I checked, it was 291.06. It's now 284.17. Big drop there as we were seeing a bunch of risk starting to get closer and closer to that 300 level. And now far less risk going on. So there's something happening in the marketplace. A lot of positions changing, and it could be some of this all could be from the ability to be able to loan more shares out. There might be a little less risk in the marketplace with more shares available to be borrowed. So we're seeing a big drop. The spread between the 2-year and 10-year bond rates was 0.33 when we checked it earlier this morning, and is now currently at 0.328. So that hasn't really changed too much. And let's see what we got going on here. NASDAQ is up 0.13. Dow Jones is breaking even. SP 500 is up 0.13. We have 3,622 advancers to 1,561 decliners. The market is definitely on the up and up today. Cooking with bacon grease, as a matter of fact, because it's looking hot and tasty. This pen is about ready to go. I keep saying it, but I'm still using it. Sectors that are down. Healthcare. It's only one. The top performing sectors for the day-to-day. Number one is utilities, followed by materials. Of the Mag 7, one is green. It's the only one that was supposed to not be a part of the rest of the Mag 7 anymore. Financial institutions that have changed more than 2.5% in price will get a shout out here. We've got FRC is down 25%. Douche Stank is up 3.44. And that's about it. Gold is up 1.37 and trending up. Silver is up 3.41, trending up. Ethereum Classic is down 1.28 and trending down still. Let me put this on a 1 hour time interval. The overall trend right now is more of a consolidation period after a little bit of a downtrend and back up again, so it creates a period of time of consolidation. But overall, I would say on a larger time scale, it does not look like it's trending, breaking the downtrend that it's been in. So still trending down. The US dollar is down 0.62 and trending down very rapidly, as we're seeing, especially the bond rates dropping as well. So the market is doing quite nicely as a result from that. Oil is up 3.39 and trending up. Mortgage-backed securities are up anywhere from 0.62 to 0.64. And gapping up in the pre-market and trending up even harder. The big trend started around 10:01 this morning, according to these. According to what I'm seeing on the chart here. We even had a gap up on Vanguard's in the middle of trading. SPY is up 0.09, and we are seeing at 10:01 also on the SPY a very unusual candle popping up on there. Stuff started happening at 10:01. VIX is currently down 0.25. Now here's an interesting fact. VIX is increasing. Since market open, it is down, but within since 10 o'clock, since 10:01, the VIX has been increasing as the market is heading upwards, which is very, very unusual. Let me just check something real quick here on the futures on the VIX. Give me 1 second because I closed out that tab when I needed it. What are futures suggesting? Currently, the VIX is at 12. Futures suggesting 13.13, so a full point higher. VB is up 0.74 and is currently trending up. VBR is up 0.63, trending up. Tesla's up 5.04, trending up. Amazon is down 1.14, trending down. Cinemark is up 0.23 and is currently, I'm going to call it consolidating. Doge is down 2.36 and is breaking a trend down into an uptrend. Bitcoin is down 0.83 at 60.4K a coin, breaking a downtrend into an uptrend. GME is up 3.38, trending up. HYMC is up 6.49, trending up. NCMI is up 4.74, trending up. Hood is up 2.14, trending up. And AMC is up 1.73 and very slightly trending upwards. Inflow versus outflow so far for the day today, approximately $500,000 more. Is that right? Yeah, well, yeah, close enough. $500,000 more inflow than outflow. 3.45 million shares traded so far for the day today. Let's check and see what kind of pace we're on after 56 minutes worth of trading. We are on a pace for 24.02 million shares traded by the end of the day today. I suggested somewhere between 10 and 30 million shares. On a 4-hour time interval, we currently have more buying pressure than selling pressure. With RSI at 71.34 signaling overbought. On a 1-hour time interval, we have more buying pressure than selling pressure with what appears to be a divergence forming within the next 1 hour. RSI is at 67.76, which is above average. On a 30-minute time interval, more buying pressure than selling pressure with an RSI of 68.46, which is above average. And on a 5-minute time interval, more selling pressure than buying pressure than RSI of 57, which is just slightly above average. Taking a look at a 1-hour chart for Ichimoto, everything's looking nice on this on the Ichimoto here. We have lagging line above price line and price above conversion base. Notice the conversion did touch down on a significant point in time where we had a candle that caused it to touch down on there. Now, most of us would know that that's, well, that might have been the pre-market open. Let me see what this was. I feel like this is probably, yeah. Something happened right here. We had one of those trades that went through that gave us a nice little wick down to 505. And I think that's on purpose. I think that's something that's trying to cause probably trading indicators or perhaps maybe algos that are trading the market to see that as a potential risk. But it didn't really seem to work out too much because price is still moving upwards. You can see conversion came off of base. quite nicely afterwards. As long as we can keep the lagging line above price line going into Friday, we should be looking pretty good, which means that we need to close at 536 or higher before the end of the day is over, which ends early. Taking a look at 540 is the number. The magic number that I kind of wrote down is what we need to try to obtain, because I always round in increments of 5 cents. So 540 is what I'm hoping for, but I gave a prediction of 538 today, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. On a 4-hour chart, lagging line is above price line, conversion is above base, and price is well off the conversion line, which is really, really good and shows a lot of strength and shows continued buying support trend happening going on here. So everything looks good with this. What we don't want to see is his price come back down and touch the cloud. That would be bad. That's probably the biggest fear that we would have on this indicator, on this 4-hour time, great looking time interval. If we suddenly saw the price move back down to where we saw price touching the top of this cloud here at $4.93, that would be that would probably trigger a pretty strong sell-off. And for anybody who had invested back in here, anywhere in this time frame back in here. So we don't want to see that. So I wrote down 495 as the magic number to stay above before closing. But I also wrote 510 down on my board because really we want to stay above the conversion line, which was 510 earlier, which has now moved up to about 516. So we want to stay above that conversion line if possible. It just kind of signals for more strength and a continuation of price movement upwards. And with that, looks like we got a little bit of news here. Let's see what the news is. I'm sure it's nothing good. Why is AMC moving up? What stocks you should watch instead of AMC? AMC is more than a meme stock, but is it enough? By Barron's. I don't even know. This title is just leaning just enough on the side to where maybe I should read that. I feel like maybe this might be worth reading, and I just feel like there's going to be a big old butt sandwich in here. I mean, it's already in the title, but isn't enough. Yep. Go figure. Should we read it?
Yeah, why not? It's always good for a laugh. We're immune to their bullshit anyhow. So
all right, Emily. I'm not sure how to say this last name. Detilio, probably Detalio.
It's Detilio.
Detilio. Got it. It's the stuff of classic movie trailers, a main character struggling to stay afloat in a tough world, a lifeboat that can disappear at any moment, a ticking clock, and it's coming to a theater near you in 2025. AMC Entertainment has been making headlines again thanks to the return of meme stock fever, which has helped shares gain 80% since the end of April. That gain, though, doesn't capture the precarious position the company is in. Sales has been falling this year, the result of the slate of films that has failed to excite moviegoers following the actors' strike. But this is a bunch of horseshit. AMC is also struggling under a debt load that is too big and coming due too soon for a company its size. It has left many observers wondering if the restructuring could be in a company's future. Really? This is a massive hit piece. The path forward is fraught, but there is a path. Despite its troubles, AMC has been gaining market share. While the return of the meme stock trade has given it the ability to sell stock and raise funds without taking on more debt, recent signs of life at the box office include Inside Out 2's billion-dollar take and strong start for A Quiet Place. Day one suggests that hope for a stronger batch of films in 2025 isn't unfounded. Combined, they could help AMC become a company that analysts and investors take serious once again. CEO Adam Aron remains optimistic. Quote, personally, I think it's inconceivable that AMC would have to restructure like Regal Cinemas did and file for Chapter 11, end quote, he told The Hollywood Reporter in April. AMC's debt is enormous. The company holds... Look, they can't even get the numbers right. The company holds a total of $8.6 billion in long-term debt. I just commented on this. Somebody posted up something on Twitter and said something about 8.6.
But it's always wrong to the high side.
Yeah,
it's always wrong to the high side.
They can't even get the actual numbers right here. And long-term debt as December 23 up from $5.2 billion in 2018. See, they can't even get this shit right. According to the fact set, the number. They're blaming it on somebody else. According to the fact set, like it's not my fault. Somebody else is reporting it. That number overstates.
18 billion.
8.6 is what they're saying.
18 billion. Okay.
8.6.
80 billion. 880. 80 billion. Okay.
That number overstates the company's debt load because it includes operating leases. Oh, look, they include that. Okay, Jory Eisenberg and Hunter Martin, analysts at research firm Credit Sites, they advise focusing on the current net debt totaling 3.46 billion, excluding those leases, which should be regarded more as operating expenses. That's what I would have said. I'm glad she at least included that in there. But it's interesting that she wouldn't put that in first. Like, say that the total.
Right.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting that she's saying, like, well, these people are saying this, but FactSet says this. Yeah, whatever. These guys, whoever Jory Eisenberg and Hunter Martin is, you guys get an A+ for reporting whatever it is. We need to look these people up and send them a thank you. Yet, even at the lower number, AMC's debt load is a major headwind to future success. Revenue is still sharply below its pre-COVID peak, and earnings before interest, tax, depreciation, and amortization, or EBITDA, of $387 million over the past 12 months is only half of what it was in 2019. That gives the company a leverage ratio found by dividing debt by EBITDA of a bit under 9 times, far above what's healthy. Competitor Cinemark boasts a ratio. Oh, see, this is the hit piece where they're basically saying, like, if you really want to invest in movies, you want to go with the one that's boasting a better ratio at 2.8 times. Getting its leverage ratio down is essential for AMC to continue operating as a going concern. The company would need to get its net leverage below 4 times to have a decent chance at accomplishing a regular wave refinancing, according to the Credit Sites analysts. Never mind the fact that we can raise capital simply through more dilution, and that could take care of everything. And if our shares become, not if, but I know they're worth something, and since they're going to be worth something, AMC has all the power that they need to be able to restructure their debt in a way to where it's like no longer an issue any longer for us. So it's like they don't even pay attention to that at all. The meme stock rally has helped. The return of Keith Gill, the trader better known as Roaring Kitty, whipped retail investors into a frenzy. The company used that to sell what was left. What was left of a $250 million stock sale plan on May 14th and followed up with a debt for equity swap. Its bonds also responded with the debt due in 2026 jumping to nearly 88 cents on the dollar on June 28th. From just over 70 cents before the meme trade revived in May. A sign that investors are less worried about AMC's ability to pay off those bonds. Still, the company's 2029 debt is trading just below 68 cents on the dollar. More stock sales could be on the way, but depends on the fickleness of retail investors. Quote, obviously, the higher the stock price is, the more money that can earn from issuing shares. Says Webush securities analyst Alicia Reese, another one we need to add to our list of thank you very much for telling the truth, who rates AMC neutral with a price target of $350. Never mind, scratch Reese off. The high debt also means more cash is being used to make interest payments rather than going to acquisitions or theater upgrades. AMC reported an adjusted net loss of 78 cents a share for the quarter ending in March 31st, reflecting a higher costs for rent, utility bills, and workers, costs that are shouldered regardless of how many people show up for a movie, says B. Riley analyst Eric Wold, who rates the shares neutral with an $8 price target. Well, maybe we could say nice things about Eric. But AMC also has to pay $400 million in interest a year to service its debt, compounding the problem. That definitely drains down the business, Wold says. Sure, I agree with him. Certainly does put a hamper in what AMC can make. A strong 2025 is essential for AMC. Next year features a long slate of releases, including Superman, Toy Story 5, and Avatar 3. Among others, strong ticket sales for Inside Out 2, which racked up $155 million in its first weekend, may be proof that people will go to the theater for the right films. Credit Sites estimates that AMC adds $30 million in EBITDA for every $100 million change at the domestic box office. If the domestic box office reaches 10 billion or 88% of where it was in 2019, the company could earn 800 million in EBITDA, putting its leverage ratio at about 4.4 times. That leaves a narrow path to success for AMC. The company, to its credit, has been gaining market share despite its woes. It controlled about 23% of the U.S. market at the end of 2023. Cinemark, the number 2 player, has a 14% market share. It also has the most IMAX screens in North America, says Wedbush's Reese. And if AMC can get its debt into more manageable levels, it could scoop up smaller players. That might seem too optimistic, but just like in the movies, everyone loves a happy ending, right? To Emily Detalio at emilydetalio@dowjones.com. I would write to her, but I don't feel like wasting my time. Let's see here. Tyler, love you too, man. Full FOMO. Chi-Town Turtle says you should see. Let me guess. She's a Citadel lackey that just says all kinds of amazing things about the company. Can only imagine. You should see what other things. All right, let's look her up. Let's do that. What was it again? How do you say the last name? Emily, help me out. Somebody help me out. All you on the back of the big tramp, get out.
Detalio.
No, you.
Let's see here. Where did I just put that screen at? I just went looking.
Good morning, gents.
Good morning.
Dattilo.
Where did I just put that?
Dattilo. According to Chi-Town.
I want too many T's in there.
Morning, preacher.
Morning. What's happening here? But I'm stuck in traffic and I'm not moving for like 10 minutes now. So that's lovely.
That's a long time to not be moving in traffic.
Well, I'm on a highway. Like I'm entering the highway and the highway is not moving for 10 minutes. So that's not fun.
Well, she's young. She looks young anyways.
Amy?
Emily Detalio. Let's see here. Articles. She wrote another article that says AMC can have a happy ending. Here's what has to happen. That was written today. It's not the same article, I don't think, that was just written. Constellation Brands stock is rising at earnings. What we know is the stock market open on July 3rd. Here's the unusual trading hours. PayPal has work to do on margins. These analysts upgraded stock anyway. CrowdStrike outperformed NVIDIA in June. Why the stock got a downgrade. Synchrony stock and S&P 500 stock. I don't really see any. I mean, at least she's not like some kind of food analyst that suddenly decided to write a hit piece on AMC. She does seem to write articles about perhaps struggling companies that are looking to perhaps maybe have a turnaround point. Does seem to be like
at least on the surface here, it doesn't appear that she's just focused on shitting all over AMC. It's
yeah.
So maybe she's
that's a side job.
as close as you can. That's as close as you can come to being fair and balanced, I guess.
Emily's gonna get to find out. She's gonna get to see that I viewed her LinkedIn profile. She's gonna get to see. She's like, "Why? Who is this? Why is this guy from a semiconductor industry looking at my profile?" I wonder if they get that all the time. He's a creeper.
That's funny.
Why isn't it going? Well, let me just search her this way. There we go. Oh, says I have a third related contact somehow. I'm kind of curious how that. I'm always curious, like how that works out, like how you have connections like through third parties. Is there a way to click on that? There is a way.
You guys are both following Honor.
So she's worked for. She went to Miami University, Columbia University. She graduated from Columbia in. Well, she started out in Miami and went from 2017 to 2021 and got her She did journalism, psychology, and creative writing, and then she got her master's of science in journalism from August 21 to May in 2022 at the Columbia University. So she's got her master's by 2022. It looks like she went straight through school from all those years. So 17. So yeah, she's in her 20s.
Anyone new that's joining now on the stream is like, what are these creeps looking up?
All right.
Stalking people.
She went to go work first for social media intern for Swimming World part-time. Then she moved on to student life chair, Society of Professional Journalists. Then she actually that was at the same time. Those were incongruent. Then she went on to move on to reporter, financial advisor IQ. I'm not sure what that is. Then she also became a member at the Phi Beta Kappa Society, so she's a part of a sorority. And then now she's working at Barron's full time from October 22nd till current, so a year and 10 months. Breaking news reporter covering stocks and markets. Very interesting. I thought you were supposed to be able to find out like how you have a connection with somebody, like because if it says third, like I feel like there's a way for you to find out like how that works. I don't know how it works. I'm so not. Oh, hey, I have a message. What do I have a message for? That's interesting. The college that Hunter wanted to go to sent me something about getting my master's degree. Completing a master's at full sail.
Dario D, is there any chance that was you yesterday being interviewed on AMC Bigham's live, or was that a different Dario?
I think that's a different Dario. I think I already asked Dario if he was the Dario on X.
I thought so too. Well, somebody else asked me, Captain Hayden asked me, and I didn't know. So inquiring minds want to know. It's just a unique name. I don't know a great deal of Darios. I just thought it was. I didn't think so either. That was my opinion. I told Captain Hayden. I said, I don't think. I might be wrong. I said, I don't think that's our Dario D. D.
Yeah. Dario says I don't have social media. Anymore or never did?
He's been a bad boy.
Jason, please review the rules of the channel when I'm not concerned about any other stock tickers that are out there that aren't related to AMC or GME.
Release the banhammer.
We could see a flippening in the entire market. So we saw the whole market take a big, huge trend upwards right at 10:01 when we first started seeing the bond rates starting to drop massively. Which I haven't had a chance to get onto social media at all and check out to see what see if there was like a sale that occurred on the bonds that would have been like a I don't know. I'll have to go take a look and see what's being said, but. There was a little bit of a turnaround point right around 10:19, so like 18 minutes after it started trending up strongly or had the signal at around 10:01, it started making a trend down, and then around 10:29 it started recovering back up again on the SPY itself. And then the interesting thing was we were watching, or when I was looking at VIX was had made a turnaround point shortly before the market started trending upwards. So to see the VIX rising as the market is trending up is very, very unusual. So this is kind of one of those signals that you would look at and be like, maybe it's going to be short-lived. It could be a false a bull trap, essentially. And I don't know if that's the case. I mean, we did look at the Mag 7 and the Mag 7, 6 out of the 7. Well, there's only one green one earlier. It was Tesla. Now we got 2 that are green. So I'm not sure. VIX is still trending upwards here. No, Nate, it's not related at all. When have you ever seen me talk about that stock? Ever? On here?
They want it to be related.
Yes,
and
it's
I don't
not.
know. We talked about this yesterday, that there seems to have been a trend of an ever increasing number of stocks that fall into the quote unquote meme basket. And it's just my opinion that it was all in an effort to try to get people to look at an ever increasing number of shiny objects. And that might be a little tinfoil hat theory. And I don't mean to shit on anybody who's doing well today. That's fine. I just know that every time you turn around, there's another one being labeled meme stock.
Yeah. I could care less about them. Somebody did point out that there was a video that references one of the meme stock videos from DFE references the dog, I guess, in some kind of way, and then suggests that him only, don't move your eye, basically like it's not. He said in other videos, like when I move, you move, or something like that. But then in this one particular video, he talks about the wording in it says for me only, or something like that. Like I think I was stating this yesterday in the back of the Big Tramp after the live stream. I would highly encourage people to go back and rewatch his meme videos. I feel like you're going to probably get more out of them this time around than you did the first time around. And don't watch them in reverse. I don't know whoever suggested that. I watched that whole thing in reverse and it didn't make. I think it's a bunch of hooey. Go watch them in the order that he posted them in. That's the way they were meant to be played. And it makes so much more sense. So there's some people are thinking that it's possible that that might be related to that other stock ticker, but those eyes were supposed to be meant to looking at those two individual. And that, again, like I said, it was for him only, and it wasn't supposed to be for everybody to do. And it could simply be he could have simply been meaning that take a look, because that's going to be where everybody's going to be drawing the attention away from. You know, the Kansas City Shuffle. I'm not sold on the idea that that's what that means, though. I've seen a lot of conjecture as to what, why they're trying to suggest that's the case. I don't see the connection. I'd probably have more, I would put more money down on the idea that it has something to do with reconstitution than it has to do with the other stock ticker. The only part to that I'm having a hard time with is trying to figure out like why specifically a microphone and a musical notes. Also, they're in black and white at first, which might, there could be something having to do with from death to life or something, maybe, possibly. I don't know.
I thought he meant the 4th of July anthem.
Yeah, the national anthem showing up on there, and some people had said that there was a World Series national anthem being sung on that day or something. I don't know. Maybe. It's possible. Brian says dogs are colorblind. That's a good point. I just realized that I never go into my LinkedIn, and I've got like so much stuff that's in here that I haven't looked at.
All the job offers.
Yeah.
Did you notice that one for Citadel?
No, I do not see a Citadel one in here. Although there is a profile that I do not recognize that viewed my profile. Let's see who he is. Yep, FinTech. FinTech advertising payments, hiring in the U.S. Viewed my profile. I do not have a financial profile. Why in the world would FinTech be looking at my my non-financial profile? Very
so
interesting.
Good with numbers.
Oh yeah, makes total sense.
Stop being financial, okay?
Yeah. I'm saying the same thing that Emily's probably saying right now. Like, why is this guy who has nothing to do with financial markets looking at my profile? What's going on here?
Exactly.
Oh man. Dynamite says you're about to have a bunch of finances. Wait, hold on a second here. Let me check something out here. Let's see here. I don't know. All right, enough of that. I'm done. Is it almost yucca time? It's almost yucca time. My alarm's going to go off here in about a half hour. Nana, there's a lot of different emojis on there that I didn't understand. For example, like what's with the target? What's there was a target one that was back on June 25th. There's an angry kitty on the 24th. There's a tent on the 21st. There's a couple in here that we couldn't figure out. There's a joystick, for example. Here, actually, the GameStop earnings was supposed to be, I think, originally. What day was that? It was supposed to be. No, we didn't figure that one out. I feel like the GameStop earnings was supposed to be like Monday or something like that. Monday the 10th, and then they changed it. I don't know. There's a couple of different emojis in there that we couldn't figure out, though. Yeah, I think that the flag and the microphone is not related to the 4th of July, though. I'm not, because that was for last Friday. The dog was for Thursday. The flag was for Friday. The look was for Monday, and then we ended up having the that all seemed to correspond with looking at those two events. What's that? What'd you say?
Sorry, just talking to myself. I forgot I'm not.
Oh, okay. But yeah, and then I think the firecracker for today, or some people were saying, what was it again? Everybody had, Rich put it in here. I can't remember what it was called. It was the collision symbol. So there might be a little bit of a collision going on today. I don't know. I kind of assumed that it was a firework for 4th of July, but maybe we are seeing the collision going on right now. Maybe there's some kind of international collision on bonds going on. I'm not sure yet. I'll have to find out when I go on break. I'm not going to take a big long break like I normally would, because normally I would come back at like 12:10. What I'll probably do today is I'll do the numbers at 11. Go to break for maybe like 15 or 20 minutes, come back, and then just, I guess, sign off on the day with you guys. Because, I mean, once I do the 11 o'clock numbers, we don't have any more numbers to do. So. Speaking of numbers, let me take you guys over to the other page here, and we will take a look and see what we got going on for numbers here. Somebody was saying that it was going to be some interesting numbers this hour. Let's take a look and see if we had a big flippening going on here. Major bull trap. Let's see what we have. I'm not going to be able to see what it is you guys are saying, so hold those personal thoughts, comments, questions, and concerns until you see the big tramp back up on the screen again. Two-factor authentication. If you don't have it, you may want to consider getting it, as it could prevent somebody from getting into your account that shouldn't be in your account. When you sign up for that, if your broker allows you to put in a secondary device to be able to receive that access code, that might be smart to set up, as you never know when something's going to happen to your primary. All right, starting with off exchange. By this time of the day, I would expect to see off exchange and EDGX combined to be somewhere between, or not somewhere between, but right around 60%. We get about 58.14 going through off exchange, EDGX at 9.63, and the combined total at 67.77% or 7.77% higher than what I would expect it to be. Taking a look at CHX volume for the day today, it's at 850 shares. That's nothing unusual. Taking a look at GME's CHX volume for the day today, it's coming in at 7,503. That's not very much either. Shares available to be borrowed is sitting at 1.2 million now, so another 100,000 shares returned to IBKR with fees at 1.62%. IBKR reported since yesterday's closing about 700,000 shares borrowed so far. Yesterday it was a total of 1 million shares. According to Ortex an hour ago, there was 4.49 million shares borrowed for the day today. It's now showing up as 3 million shares borrowed. So that's been some return shares in the last hour. And that's going to cause the estimated short-share interest of the free float to drop to 15.8%. Cost per round ends at 2.73, average 2.74, max 4.33. Shares on loan for the day today is at 81.43 million shares. That's 6.54 million more shares on loan today than there was on yesterday. Ortex is estimating that 1.65 million of that was in new short interest. GME's reported amount of shares borrowed for the day, 3.3 million. Options. Highest amount of call volume so far for the day today has been coming in at a $5.50 strike. There was 2.6 thousand contracts in volume as of an hour ago, and now there's currently 7,000 contracts. Highest amount of put volume coming in at a $5 strike. There was 2.3 thousand contracts an hour ago. It's now 6.6. These volume levels are a little bit closer to what I would expect by this time of the day, as they were a little shallow earlier. So we're looking at market still suggesting a closing price between $5 and $5.50 with max paying at $5. Orders by Fidelity customers. AMC and GME are the only two I'm looking for on this list. GME has a 52.86% buy at 47.14% sell ratio. And I do not see AMC on the list. MMRI an hour ago was 284.18, is now 283.91, so still dropping. The spread between the 2-year and 10-year bond rates was 0.328 as of an hour ago and is now currently at 0.34. We started off the week at 0.346, so very close to where we started the week off again. NASDAQ is up 0.31, Dow Jones is down 0.13, and the S&P 500 is up 0.18. We have 3,249 advancers to 2,065 decliners. The market is no longer cooking with bacon grease and is definitely more in a decline now than it was an hour ago. Sectors that are doing poorly for the day, the worst two sectors are healthcare followed by consumer staples. The top performing sectors are utilities followed by materials. Of the Mag 7, 5 out of the 7 are green. Financial institutions that have changed more than 2.5% since closing yesterday will get a shout out. FRC is up or down 25%. Douche Stank is up 3.5. And that's about it. Gold is up 1.41% and trending up. Silver is up 3.52, trending up. Ethereum Classic is down 2%. It was on a trend back up and is now starting to trend back down once again. The US dollar is currently down 0.54 and is looking like it's attempting to try and break into a trend up after trending down, but has not yet broken that trend just yet. Oil is up 2.05% and started to crescendo and started to trend back down again here. Mortgage-backed securities are up anywhere from 0.58 to 0.59 and trending, consolidating. SPY is up 0.15 and trending up. VIX is currently up 0.42, trending up. The futures on the VIX. Hey, Preacher, can you mute for me, please?
Yeah, just a moment.
Thank you. The VIX is currently at 12.08 with futures suggesting that it should be around 13.23, so it's still a full point lower than it was and still trending upwards, by the way, as the market was trending up. So I think we might be getting a little bit of a signal here that might have been a little bit of a bull trap as everything was starting to run. Vanguard is up currently 0.23, but is now trending back down. VBR is up 0.22, trending down. Tesla's up 5.19 and breaking the trend up into a trend down. Amazon is down 1.42, trending down. Cinemark is down 0.77, trending down. Doge is down 3.28 and trending back down again. Bitcoin, man, sheesh. That, if I didn't know any better, I'd say that looks like an inverse cup and handle. If price rises back up on this, I don't know, 0.1185 and then retraces, it could start dropping quick. Bitcoin is down 1.49 and currently trending down. GME is up 0.71 and is, I'm going to call it trending down for now, but it does look like it's maybe going to try and break that trend into an uptrend again. HYMC is up 9.96. Let that be a little bit of a clue as to maybe what's coming. NCMI is up 2.26 and trending up. Hood is up 0.98 and trending down. AMC is down 2.48 and also trending down. It looks like it's trying to consolidate, maybe move back into an uptrend. Currently, there's approximately $500,000 more inflow than outflow. 6.93 million shares traded so far for the day today. After 99 minutes worth of trading, we're on a pace right now for about 27.3 million shares traded by the end of the day today. I suggested somewhere between 10 and 30 million. Taking a look at 4-hour time interval, there's currently more selling pressure than buying pressure than RSI of 57.56, which is slightly above average. That big, strong move there down really helped to cool off RSI quite a lot, and that's actually going to really help out a lot for a reversal. On a 1-hour time interval, you can see that we have not broken out of my ascending parallel channel yet. And price, I mean, it could within the next hour or so, but still currently trending within it on the candle. And RSI or Vortex indicator showing more selling pressure than buying pressure than RSI of 44.24, which is below average now. On a 30-minute interval, more selling pressure than buying pressure than RSI of 38.05, which is signaling oversold. Or sorry, it's not signaling oversold. It's below average. Sorry. And on a 5-minute time interval, more selling pressure than buying pressure than RSI of 28.84, which is signaling oversold. Now, I know on the 5-minute and 30-minute time interval that the candle is outside the ascending parallel channel, but what I want you to remember is this ascending parallel channel is based off of a 1-hour time interval look ahead. And so any candles that would need to break underneath this to have this considered to be a breakout of this ascending parallel channel would need to be on the 1 hour, which starts at when market closes. So we'll see where it takes us to, but 507 is where we're at today. 510 is where I'd like to see us close at least above on a 4-hour chart. And with that, that's all I got for you guys. Did Yucca scroll in yet here? No? Not yet. Okay. Once Yucca gets here.
I have one question.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead. Okay, so I will. That's why I unmute. You made a break. I thought you were stopping before gold. Why is it stank and not skank? Why not douche skank?
Because it was if we call a stock a stonk, then we should call a bank a stank. Because it's
I don't
not.
think it should be a skank. I don't know. We can take a vote for this.
Because it's not it's not a bakank. That's why. If it was a bakank, then a skank would probably sound.
It's not a skock. Yeah, it's not a skock.
It could be. Depends on what you want it to be. Damn it, Yucca, hurry up. Got like 12 more minutes or so. Can't wait to play that video again. Chi-Town says Bankleback. Bankleback? Have you guys heard of the Gameshire Hathaway I think it's Gameshire. Gameshare stop away. Gameshare stop away is maybe what they're calling it. I forget. I can't remember. I've heard it a couple times recently, and every time I hear it, I go like, "That's actually pretty catchy. I like that." Game shot. I'm trying to remember. Gameshare stop away. Dario says, did we talk about Casey? Did we talk about the flag and the dog turning from gray to color while the emojis were scrolling across Missy Elliott's video? We just did, just like 10 minutes ago. 13, 20, I don't know, 15 minutes ago we just talked about it. Somebody said that animals are colorblind. Could have been that. I don't know. What are your thoughts? Tyler says, why is HYMC going up a clue? A clue to what? Which direction the market's going to start heading here soon. Because if you go to the metals and you look at the metals, gold is up 1.45 and silver is up 3.43. HYMC is a gold and silver mining company amongst other precious metals. And so the only reason that those would be starting to skyrocket is if somebody was incredibly in fear of what the futures of the market held. So the idea that that what we saw this morning was a bull trap seems very, very strong, considering the fact that those are moving the way that they are, and that the VIX is also moving up during the time that a price move on the SPY is heading up as well. It's all about money flow. You got to watch those money flows. If you don't understand why money moves the way it moves around in the market, then you'll never understand why stocks move the way they do.
Danny, the dude said he's discovered that the mystery commentator on his calendar yesterday, who wrote these nuts on his day planner.
No, who?
Was indeed a coworker. It's in chat.
Oh
He said
man, was it the prince? Was it
the mystery is resolved? Yeah. He didn't say if it was the vice principal, but he did say it was a coworker. So yeah. I would assume that you're correct.
Bigums, good morning to you. Good to see you. Let's see here.
Yo, is he in here?
Yeah, he's in the chat anyways.
Right on. Shout out to Bigums. Hope that baby's doing good, buddy.
Oh, did he, how long ago was that? Did I miss? I feel like
I don't think he's had it yet.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, I didn't hear about that. Danny said, I texted my coworker, do you like chocolate with nuts? That's brave. He replied back with a gif of Samuel L. Jackson saying, what the? That does not sound like you found the culprit. That sounds like you found the wrong person to me. I don't understand why that would be. Wait a minute. Somebody fill me in here. Why would that be? That does not sound like you found the right person at all.
It's like a choose your own story meets Chat GPT, Danny. That didn't sound authentic.
He shared more. He said then he sent a photo of the calendar, and the guy responded, "Oh, those nuts. Yeah, that's an admission." Yeah, yeah, right. I was with KC. I only got the first message. I'm like, damn, if you're going with that as your confession, I don't want you working as my on my detective team. But yeah, now that you shared the second message there, I would agree.
And Bigums, I'm not sure if you're trying to be funny or not because it's hard to tell through chat, but I know your wife has the baby. I know, I get it. How's Lamaze classes going for you? Make sure you're getting those in. Do they even do those anymore? I don't feel like I've heard anybody mention Lamaze classes in like, I don't know, 30 years. So let's see, how old is Bradley?
Yeah,
Probably
just
like 20 years.
Another fad.
Show Bigums your fourth video? I have no idea what he means by that. The fourth video. Oh, the fourth video.
4th of July.
4th of July video. Okay, hold on. All right, Bigums. Let's talk here for a second here. This is a real serious thing for you here. He's due August 4th. We didn't do those classes. All right. Well, I'm assuming this is your first child. I don't know if it is or not, but if it is your first child, when you get in there and the nurses start panicking because your wife didn't take Lamaze classes and she's like, how come she doesn't know how to breathe? Just be ready to feel some cold sweat starting to hit your direction. So otherwise, you should probably start taking a look at some YouTube videos on how to do breathing exercises together. No medical advice here. I'm just saying, I don't know, maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. There's lots of nurses that are in here that maybe could say better things than I am saying right now, but let's take a look. Here's the key thing that I want to tell you. It is 4th of July almost. And I'd personally like to see your child see you with all of your fingers. So let me share with you what not to do for 4th of July. Give me 1 second here. I got to pull it up. Where did I put that under? There it is. Okay, this is what not to do for 4th of July. Okay, please. Because your kid's going to rely on you having fingers in the future. Hold on a second here. Hold on. Don't do this. So there might be a couple of things you missed because it happens also very, very quickly. When you're light off those fireworks, number one, make sure that you have the right fuse. They should be green. Green fuses are safe. That means safe. Don't light yellow fuses or orange fuses or red fuses. That's number one. Number two, as you see me shitting fireworks in this, the other thing you probably didn't know that you probably didn't catch on that first really quick watch through is that I'm shitting out what looks up or appears to be some fireworks over here on the other side. And as the video progresses forward, you can see that the first mortar in the air is going off just about the same time that the mortar on the ground that I just shit out of my ass is going off on the ground behind me. So yeah, that mortar hit me in the finger as it was taking off. And then also my entire arm was engulfed in flames during that period. I lost no fingers. I got incredibly lucky. Please don't be a person like me and try to if your fireworks don't go off when they're supposed to go off, guys, just throw them in some water. Like let them sit for a little bit and then throw them into some water once they cooled off a little and don't risk it. It ain't risk
Or
it.
sniff them. You can sniff them. If you get real close and sniff, if you sniff them, you should be able to smell whether they're still lit or not. Get real close and get a big inhale through your nose.
Please do not sniff them. That is not advisable. That is totally not advisable. Yes, I did have a little bit of flash burn going on from that. Danny says, what an idiot. Yeah, thanks, Danny. Appreciate it. Let me know how that... Never mind.
Smells like burnt hair.
But anyways, keep your fingers, man. Your wife will appreciate it. So will your kids. And it's much easier to type with your fingers. Danny says, oh, wow, I didn't know that was a video of Casey. Yeah, it was. Whatever I can do to make you laugh around here, right? Gets the day going. I'm waiting. I'm also waiting on Yucca to show up in here again, and I'm still waiting. He's late, so we can play the other one. Casey, the firework bear says, only you can prevent lost fingers. Oh, man. What you got? I feel like you got something for us, Bigums. Are you just here to just hang out, or did you have something specific for us? I feel like oftentimes you show up and you got something to say. Hit us up. What you got? Yeah, actually, by the way, the firework never actually hit me in the ass. I had my whole body standing off to the side of it so I wouldn't get hit. Somehow or another, even though I had a lighter, an extended lighter that was there, I guess I must have had part of my knuckle like hanging over the edge of the thing as I was lying. I didn't feel like I did. Maybe it shifted just enough when the explosion occurred that it moved my hand underneath it. Moved the mortars underneath my hand. And yeah. So it just deflected off my hand.
You were given a wonderful opportunity there. You really could have made so much out of that. If you'd had the presence of mind, you could have just covered up your eye with one hand and ran around and started screaming, "Help me find my eye! Help me find my eye!"
Well, I don't know if you could hear it in the video, but Melissa's like, "Oh, are you okay?" And then I was like, "Yeah, I'm fine." I was still in shock though.
So
My hand.
You fumbled the ball. You fumbled the ball on that right there. There were so many things you could have done with that.
My hand was like numb.
Cover up one eye with your hand. She's like, "Let me see it. Let me see it." Like, no, it's gone. You just look on the ground. It's got to be around here somewhere. Help me find my eye.
Petra says, Casey, I need to use that in a presentation as a video of what not to do. Yep, you're more than welcome to use it. I'm okay with it. I don't mind being the butt of a joke, especially when I'm still alive. And it really is a good learning experience.
I dumped my ride in a motocross event, and it wasn't a sanctioned event. We were just trail riding, but I was foolishly riding without. My friends found me crawling around on all fours, and they pulled up. They're like, "Are you all right?" They saw me go down, and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm just looking for my teeth." And it knocked my teeth out. I was crawling around on the ground.
You were literally like,
"Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, man." I was on all fours, and I was trying to find my teeth. I'm like, "My teeth are down here somewhere." They're like, "Come on, man, we got to go to the emergency room." I got 60 stitches in my face and broken jaw. But yeah, they're like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm looking for my teeth, man. Help me find my teeth." They're like, "Come on, we got to
go." I gotta find my teeth. I was really surprised it didn't light my beard on fire, that I didn't have like singed beard or something like that as well. That's fortunate.
What are you talking about? That thing is flame proof.
I guess so. It's a good thing I don't put product on it, right? I could have been a version of Michael Jackson there, running around with my hair on fire.
Yeah, you would have been a flamer.
That's right. I was yesterday.
Bill A87. That's the guy in that video is KC. That's our very own. That's not just some random dude off the internet. That's the man himself.
Yep.
Yeah.
No fingers lost.
You how not to do it.
It hit if I remember correctly, it hit my flicker offer finger on my left hand, and initially when I looked down at my hand, it hit between the small knuckle and the big knuckle portion of the hand. And when I looked down at it, there was this big depression where you could tell where the mortar had hit there. And at first I thought, oh shit, my finger looks like it's broken. As I was looking at my hand, I was like, okay, but I can still move it just fine, and it moves okay, and it doesn't hurt, and there's like zero pain in regards to like it being broken. And that depression stayed there for probably about a week. It did get all purple and blue and everything, and then it just went away, and it looks completely fine now. So, yep.
Oh, I'm sorry, Billy. I misunderstood.
I'm just glad that thing didn't shoot off and like decide to like find its way inside my shirt or something like that, and then decide to blow up inside my shirt. That would have been horrible. That would have been worst.
Worse is if you're wearing shorts.
You go through the
Yeah.
If you were wearing shorts and it found its way up there.
That would have been pretty bad. Well, it probably still would have fallen out that way though. Hopefully. I should go check and
other
see.
balls would have fallen
see
off.
these YouTube videos, and I just when I think people can't get any dumber, I see them hanging like ropes of firecrackers around their necks. I saw one guy bend over and
Oh,
put a bottle rocket in his butt,
Oh, so dumb.
and it was a big bottle rocket. And then they act surprised when they get burnt or scorched. I'm like, what did you think was going to happen? And it's
Yeah.
like, I mean, how much are you willing to do to get? How much pain are you willing to endure to get a little attention?
There's no way
Crazy thing.
anybody could pay me to put a bottle rocket in my butt cheeks like that. That will never happen.
Are you sure?
Yes, there's nothing I could drink or take that would cause me to like change my mind on that. Not seeing it.
Seen one guy light a firecracker and stick it in his mouth and close his mouth, and then he exhaled the smoke through his nose. Oh, not like these guys.
That was that old man sitting at the table, right? With the beard?
Yeah.
Crazy. I'm surprised his tongue didn't blow off.
10,000 AMC shares, I'd turn the bottle rocket the other way.
No, you wouldn't. John, good afternoon.
Yeah.
Rex, good to see you. Gosh darn it. Where the heck is frickin'
Hi, everybody. How's everybody doing?
Tom
Doing good.
D, good to see you, bud.
Is Tom in here too? I missed it.
No, it's John, and
John,
I'm
yeah.
busy. I have the tools, have tools and stuff like that, but I'm listening to you.
Oh, I apologize, John. Your voice is very similar to Tom D's, both in
It's okay, Pirates. It's okay.
in many ways. And then on top of that, you guys both have a similar profile. The little Discord emoji guy with the color on it. So you'll have to forgive me for continually interchanging you.
No worries, man. No
Right.
worries.
Everybody summon Yucca.
For what it's worth, I like both of you guys, and that's probably got something to do with it.
It's 10:30. It's time to play the video. We need to summon Yucca somehow.
Well, that's not hard to do.
Have you
Just
heard of
say,
Flat Earth?
Sex.
Flat
naughty
Earth.
sex, naughty sex, naughty stuff, dirty, everything sexual. Yeah.
Come
Vagina,
on,
vagina,
Yucca.
Penis, vagina, penis, vagina. Vagina.
Come on, Yucca.
Penis,
Where
penis
are
and
you?
Vagina. Yeah.
You just need a penis bat signal.
No.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah.
A
Big spotlight up in the air,
spotlight.
phallic shaped shadow. Yeah.
Wait. I got one. I totally forgot about this. Here we go. Where are you at, Yucca? Hurry up, damn it. This is the Yucca bat call.
Oh, John Hannaford's got it. It's like summoning Beetlejuice. You got to say D's 3 times in a row, and he'll appear. D's nuts, D's nuts, D's nuts.
Come on.
Yeah, that's a visual aid. He can't resist that video you got up. That's right up his alley.
Yeah. I just gotta leave it running long enough before the bat channel, the bat radar, the mushroom radar goes off.
You got to let it cook. You got to let it cook a little bit.
His mushroom radar is gonna be popping. Now he's gonna show up for sure. NC Proud Dad says, "OMG, I just seen the video." I had my son help me with this one because I had no idea how to edit like faces of people onto stuff in a meme, and so Hunter did me a solid and and posted Ken Griffin's face on this, and then it was a day that
Kenny G's shaking his money maker.
Yeah, and then it was a day where I played "Pour Some Sugar on Love" by Led Zeppelin, or not? What am I saying? Def Leppard, and so I was sitting there. It was the perfect day. I owe him so much for this GIF. I don't know, whatever GIF.
Oh, I just noticed that. That's a sugar. I thought that was a beer can.
Oh,
For whatever
no.
reason, I thought she was pouring beer. But you're right. That's like a sugar. That's like from a diner, like the sugar they put on the table. Okay. Yeah. Well, that's all the better then. Now
Come on.
I get it.
Come on, Yoga. Damn it. Hurry up. All these poor people are having to watch this.
He should have known. He should have known we were only going to be here for a half a day today. He should have been in here at 0800.
Yeah. NC Proud Dad, damn it. You must be like less than 40 years old. It's Jiff. With a J. I know how it's spelled, but you just didn't live through it. $42. You might be right on see, the problem is you're right on the cusp of the difference between the people who remember versus the people who don't. And unfortunately, because here's the thing. If I asked you if you were Gen X, you would tell me that you probably are. But you're not. You're not a Gen Xer. I hate to break it to you, but you do not fit in the time frame of a Gen Xer. And so you think that you're a Gen Xer, but you're actually a millennial. And no millennial ever loves finding out that they're actually a millennial. So guess what? You're actually a millennial, and millennials do fit the criteria for people who are you're the first group of people who don't remember that it was actually called a GIF. And but you're not Gen X. Go look it up. I hate to break it to you. You guys all hate finding it out that you're not Gen X, but you're not. Yeah. There's a whole group of people out there that think that they're a bunch of Gen Xers, and they're not. They want so badly to be a part of the Gen X group because they fall in this like gray area of like where everything started becoming terrible and millennials were created. And so they don't want to be a part of that group, but unfortunately they do. And you've proven that you fall in that category. Because you didn't even know that it's a GIF. JC says, I'm 28. I would like to apologize for my generation's actions. Yeah, you can usually tell the difference between the crowds because of the lack of knowledge, but I don't hold it against them. You know, you just don't know. Anybody know what the Gen X years are?
I get confused.
Mm-hmm.
What's up, guys?
Goes up until 1980. 1965 to 1980, and there's these 81 and 82, and I might even go on the ledge and maybe say even 83 years that may consider themselves Gen Xers, but they're not. And it's kind of this unusual left out crowd that has they don't want to be a part of the millennials because the Gen X was way more cooler. But unfortunately got left behind.
I'm a millennial, but I feel more like a Gen X. But hey, you can't label, It is what it is.
Yeah. Danny, welcome, by the way. Good morning to you.
Thank you. I just don't want to be a what's the new the current ones?
I don't know. I keep forgetting.
I know they have Gen Z, and then there's something after that. What's the newest?
Let me see here, because there's actually like two names for the millennials. Let me look them up here.
Millennium Falcons.
The kids that are born with like an iPhone in their hand, that generation.
So you have after X is Generation Y, and then this is Generation Y actually is more commonly known as millennials. So it just kind of depends on what they go by. Then after that, the youngest generation in today's workforce is Gen Z. And then after Gen Z is, hold on a second. Alpha.
That's right. Alpha, yep.
So X, Y, Z, Alpha. And Ys are known as millennials because they went into the workforce, or they became 18 years old right around the year 2000. Well, apparently this is not summoning Yucca like I thought it would, so that was a fail. We are finding a little bit of support on 498, as that was our synthetic price failure reset point, which, there would have been a period of time where we found several times where we were trying to break through that point. So there's a lot of volume support there. Carl says, granddaughter just said, Pa, stop watching the KC and get me a biscuit. Well, good morning to her, too. And get her a biscuit.
I take a look at my enormous penis and my troubles start melting away. I take a look at my enormous penis and the happy times are coming to stay. I gotta sing and I dance when I glance in my pants and the feeling's like a sunshiny day. I take a look at my enormous penis and everything is going my way.
Boom.
That's beautiful.
Boy.
Good morning,
That's
Sensor
beautiful.
Content.
That nonsense.
You can play that music.
Good see you, Sensor Content.
What up, CC? Boom, boom, boom.
Carl, I hope that didn't play while your granddaughter was listening. I apologize.
Oh no.
It wasn't my doing that. You can blame Censored Content for it.
What's up, Carl? Okay, so we have a young audience in here. All right? No D's nuts joke, Yucca.
You think that's gonna get him? We did everything we thought we could try.
Yeah, we need a joke.
What are you gonna do? It's inappropriate. I get it. He'll only show up if it's an inappropriate thing that he shouldn't be doing. Got it. Okay. Yeah, there's kids listening, Yucca. Don't come now.
Oh, Daddy, my pussy hurt.
Oh,
That was not me either.
Was that Yucca? Was Yucca here?
No, that one upset me.
So,
Yeah,
Pirate, I thought of you the other day. I'm walking.
On that note.
Oh, man.
So I'm walking.
Be careful here, Danny. Be very, very careful here, Danny. Whatever you say next, you need to be real thoughtful about whatever comes out of your fucking pie hole next.
What time of the day was it, Danny?
I thought of you while I was playing cornhole. No, I was walking.
See, that's what I knew this is where it would go.
All right, wait, no, listen.
Keep me out of your mouth.
Keep my name.
Keep my cornhole out of your mouth.
So, oh no! So I'm at Sawgrass Mall. It's one of the biggest malls in Florida, probably the country. And I walked by this, the CBD, these stores that they got, and they're giving out these samples, right. And they had these gummies, and it made me think of you because you always talking about it. So I'm like, hey, I'm looking at
big fan.
I'm like, how much is it? He goes, it's free sample, whatever. So it's like, I think it was 25 milligrams. It's nothing, but they give you 2 of them, and it made me think of you. So, but I was looking at the chocolate.
Did you enjoy them? Did you enjoy them? Did they make you feel a little relaxed and enjoy the experience? Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't do much, but I did feel a little relaxed, I guess. But 25.
That's the whole idea. It's not supposed to knock you on your ass like drinking half a bottle of Everclear.
But you got to do maybe
it's not 60, intended to help you.
60 milligrams or like I don't know. They had 4,000. You can get up there.
I mean, that's for heavy hitters. I'm pretty much a lightweight, man. I take we have 10 milligrams, and Mrs. Pirate cuts them in half. So I'm only doing I'm microdosing. I'm doing 5 milligrams every 2 hours or something. And it's just enough to quiet me down some.
Okay. Yeah, well, I did it a little before bed, so yeah, it put me out. That was good.
Yeah.
It was good. It was relaxing, And I can see if people have pain or whatever, they could relieve that. I can see it. Oh, I thought it was Yucco's. Yukon. But I was found it interesting that they're just handing them out like free samples. You know, I'm like, man, you know, back in the day, that would be like put you in jail or something.
Yeah, that's called market penetration.
Yeah, yeah.
Willing to take a loss, and eat the cost in order to get your product. It's been a tried and true method.
Is that like having like a cornhole league?
No. Wait,
At
are we talking about penetrating
at a bar where they're trying to get you in the door?
This is such a good guess in here. I don't know what.
Usually where doors are wide open, they need the new meat. Fresh meat in there.
Yeah, Hodor just pointed out a mistake I made. I am indeed taking the THC gummies, and I think I didn't misunderstood. I just didn't pay close attention. You said the CBD.
Yeah, that's
which is, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they can.
But those are people out there who use those for pain and sleep. But no, thanks for pointing that out for me, Hodor. You are correct in that.
Yes, yeah, I agree. Yeah,
that would explain the much higher numbers than grams.
Makes sense.
Deviant Ways says, as I'm lighting a bowl, haha, he says penetration. I hope you blew out all your weed.
Well, market penetration. Those of you who don't know it, Danny has a tattoo that says market across his lower back. So.
Damn it. I don't have a tramp stamp.
Little peekaboo tramp stamp. Yeah.
I was watching. They had like those clips, and you ever see that show where whoever you know, maybe your wife or your buddy, they give you a tattoo and then they reveal it. You know, you look in the mirror and whatever, they could put whatever they want. So it was a pretty funny show that I think it was on MTV.
Yeah.
And they had one where
the
buddy gave the guy the tattoo, and it was pretty bad. It was like
oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
Now that you mentioned, I don't remember what did he give him. He gave him
it was like a guy, like the belly button was like the guy's
yes,
mouth,
his
mouth was open, and it was pretty bad.
Oh, it was terrible. Like, I mean, it was just like one of those things where like
with friends like that, who needs enemies, man?
Yeah, no kidding. It was terrible. Wasn't he looking to get it changed or something? Or I can't recall. No,
I don't remember. It was a small clip. I don't know. I didn't watch the whole thing.
I just
saw like what it was.
I would never do that, even to my worst enemy. I just would never think to get them a bad tattoo. I mean, it's not really permanent, but I mean, if it kind of is, it kind of is, you know, like.
Well, you could remove it.
Yeah, they're very expensive to remove, and it leaves a scar. That's what they never tell people. When you have a tattoo removed, it leaves a pretty nasty.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that to somebody. I wouldn't have the guts to live with myself after doing that to them.
And then
there he is, man. There he is, Casey.
Oh, there he is. Yucca.
The chances of you getting cancer are higher, so don't get a tattoo.
Really?
Yep.
I have never heard this. Hold on a second. I'm going to fact check this. Hold on a second.
Wait.
Did you say you're going to
removing it causes?
Removing it or having the tattoo?
No, having the ink that they use. Did you say you're going to fag check this?
No.
Oh, that's what I heard.
Hey, Yucca, next time you and JJ meet, you guys should give each other tattoos and surprise each other.
Oh, shit. That sounds peachy.
You give JJ like a pickleball.
Tattoos were associated with a 21% increased risk of lymphoma, a type of blood cancer, in an observational study of a Swedish cohort. Researchers from Lund University, Sweden, analyzed the Swedish National Cancer Register and found that the size of the tattoo had little effect on the risk of cancer. The AI overview on this, that's from Medical News Today. The AI overview on this says there's conflicting information about whether tattoos increase the risk of cancer. They They are saying that potentially at 21% higher risk for like a blood cancer, but skin cancer maybe not so much. Although will obviously change the pigment of the skin, which could potentially make it harder to detect skin cancer from a diagnosis from a dermatologist. Well, Yucca, now that you're here, I want to play this.
Yeah.
I've been waiting all morning for you to come so I could play this for you while you were here.
Yeah. I'll come, all right.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
Yep. So
we opened up Pandora's box.
Now that you're here,
what you wish for.
I'm going to play this real quickly for everybody to hear. So I'm going to have to mute myself in the back of the big tramp real quick. And then that way I can play it for everybody to hear. Are you ready?
Oh.
Okay, let me mute myself real quick. I'll be right back. Well, that didn't work.
Asshole, you must come see this. Wait for
Hey, clear the way, move your fucking fire. Hey, you Pikachu, he's a value buyer. Oh, come be the first on the sub to retweet this guy. Make waves, cuss a lot, ring bells, slap your nuts. I gonna love this guy. DFV, fabulous, he holder of GameStop. Wall Street bets, show some respect, down on one knee. Now grab your tits and be calm. Call dad and also your mom. Then come and see his spectacular update stream. DFV, roaring kitty, deep fucking value. Stronger than Algo and Ken, obviously. He faced the short saboteurs, 1,000 bad guys and whores, whose holdings doubled and more. Why DFV? He's got 5 million odd votes in cards.
Don't they look lovely, Joe?
Purple donuts, we went patiently. Fabulous, Larry, I love the donuts. When it comes to Ben bets with bananas, boy, we coming through, I'm telling you, we all take it up anally. DFA shot for a D, boy of the short fact. Wise and meek, holding the peak, chic with the names. Replace your ripped underwear, hold on to your butts and prepare to fuck about with your shells like DFA. He's got 9,001,000 movies. That's monkeys. And he's still giving awards for free. He's got autists and tinfoiling flunkies. Proud to hold they love buying, love YOLOing. They're just regards with the money. GME, GME, DME. Fortunately, comes from the future. Saw the stock ready to pop, lovely to squeeze. And that, good people, is why he doubled down and hit buy. With sexy ITM options galore, against bears and liars, a badass for sure. With his 40 memes and his jokes to fuck with him, all to pressure Wall Street. Make way for DMA.
I think that's great. I love it. That was awesome. Now, Yucca, the reason I waited until now to play it again for the second time today was specifically because at some point in here, I'm going to scroll back, and I want you to listen to this very carefully.
Yeah, I heard my name in there.
Didn't you hear? Yeah, I heard Yucca. So let me pause. It says,
Hey, Casey, don't forget it's like 15 seconds or 10 seconds, behind. So
yeah.
let people finish it.
Yeah, sorry.
No.
Sorry. Well,
No, it's okay. I think Yucca's the ghostwriter.
it says, are you going to love this guy? And if you listen to the line that's actually saying here, it sounds like Yucca gonna love this guy. That's what it sounds like. Listen real quick here. Pretty sure it's Yucca gonna love this guy.
Make waves,
I'm in the back of the tram, so I can't hear it because I left the.
You messed it up. You messed it up. Hold on. All right, hold on. Are you yucca gonna love this guy is what it sounds like to me. I swear it says, are yucca gonna love this guy? I don't know. Maybe it's just the way it's being said or something, but go listen. It's like it's at
I heard it.
It's at like 30. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's probably saying, "Are you gonna love this guy?" But because of the way he's saying it, it sounds like he just gave me a shutout.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah,
totally
when I
sounded
first heard the video, I heard yucca too. To be honest.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what I heard.
Fine. I know.
I swear it says, "Are yucca gonna love?" Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's just the way it's. Somebody's playing it back here.
I think Yucca's the ghostwriter. He wrote the lyrics, so he put his name in there.
Yeah.
Come on, show your tits and what was the other one? There's a lot of Yucca-isms in there.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Anyways.
Pirate said 1,000 bad guys and whores was one of the lines. Yeah, that's awesome. Every time I watch that video, it gets better and better. Yeah,
that thing's beautiful. Somebody put a bunch of work into that, and it shows.
We have some creative people in this community. I love it.
That's what I said too. Yep, I highly agree. So many different fields, so much talent. We are capable of so much, and I think we sell ourselves short. No pun intended. Because it's not really us selling ourselves short. Somebody else is selling us short. But yeah.
Hey Danny, how creative do we have to be?
But look,
Wink, wink.
when you have that money, you can do anything. Just look at what NASA did. They have millions and millions. They faked the landing, and they're still faking the world.
Flat Earth. Are you gonna go watch that To the Moon movie, or would it Fly Me to the Moon? Are you gonna watch that?
Oh yeah, I am. I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah. Will it change your mind and in the idea that perhaps maybe they were filming a backup in case they needed to be able to, I mean, like, maybe it was going to be really, really difficult for them to be able to actually show people what it was that they were doing, and it actually did happen, but they just couldn't videotape it, so they staged it so they could have something to show people. That wouldn't make sense to you? That wouldn't kind of give you some kind of alternate? So first off, if you want funding, for something, you need to be able to sell something, right?
Yeah, but the funding is to lie.
But if you don't have something to give to get funding,
I keep funding them. That's I keep the lying is the funding. What am I saying? The funding is for the continuation of lying. Why are they lying? That's the first thing. What are they lying? Why?
See, I think it's the other way around. I think you're getting it wrong. I think that it's difficult for them to be able to give us the quality stuff that we want to see, so they fudge it a little bit in order to give you something good to look at. And so that's basically, I guess you can go from the premise of any business that's out there. They always do that. I mean, if you watch a commercial and you see hamburgers being sold for Wendy's, you don't sit there and say those hamburgers are a lie. You still go out and buy them, right? Even though you never get what you see on TV, and you wouldn't want to. You wouldn't want to get what you're getting on TV because that's actually a completely fake burger. It's not even real. But you still buy it.
It's fake.
Yeah. So you see where I'm going? You see where I'm going with this, though? It's the idea of they're selling you something so that they can continue to get funding for it, so they can continue to do the research that they need to do to have more progress. But you're saying it's fake because, what you're being sold on. What you're being sold on is something that's just simply a created image of something that is supposed to sell you on it.
Why they're hiding something?
Is it possible that during the golden age of television we were still in black and white TV? Is it possible that there was just an effort put forth to produce content for TV to reenact maybe certain segments of things that were to share with the general public? That
I know why.
It's not necessarily that it didn't happen.
I know why they had to lie. beginning, and they have to create this fake moon landing. To the viewers want to get there first, and the only way to get there first is to just pretend we got there.
Will this movie change your opinion?
Well, not really. But
No?
did you watch it already?
No. I have. It's not. I don't even think it's out yet. But I'm just curious if it'll change your opinion at all on how you see things.
I think Gecko was. I think
Yeah, why
Gecko was
not?
the ghostwriter of that movie too.
Yeah, I mean, it'll either reinforce the conspiracy or soften it.
How'd they get the camera so perfect when they're shooting the film on the moon? Casey, you can't even get internet on Earth. How are they gonna film that? And come on.
You asked too many
curious,
questions.
Yucca,
You're on the list.
How much of NASA do you find is fake? Is it just a moon landing, or are the rockets taking off? Is all that fake? Is every aspect of NASA fake, or just the moon landing?
No, I think the rockets taking off. They're going somewhere. They're going.
Is the international space station, is that faked or is that real?
That I don't know.
July 12th. By the way, Fly Me to the Moon is July 12th.
Oh, nice! I'm gonna go see it.
Yeah.
Definitely gonna go see it.
Yeah, isn't the International Space Station underwater, right?
I heard about that too.
There is a version of it underwater. Yes.
Check this out. I went yesterday to pick up some vinyl records. Some guy sold 4 crates of 45s for like $100. I said, all right, I'm gonna jump on it. And I took a picture of it. I put it on the back of the big tramp. And guess what was there? There was JPL. Was right there. I took a picture and I posted it in the bubble. Nobody saw that yesterday. You know what JPL is, right?
The Jet Propulsion Laboratory.
Yeah. The NASA. Yeah, it was right there, and I was like, I can walk over there. But knock on the door and say, why are you lying?
Oh.
It's the Jet Propulsion Laboratory, right?
Yeah, that's the one. Did you see it, Casey? No, you didn't.
Are you talking about the post with the JP7?
No, here, let me read the post there.
I'm not sure what you're talking about.
There it is. It's on the bubble.
Okay, hold on.
It's so cool. I was up in the mountain. You can literally walk down there.
Yeah, the one with the dirt. You're like up in the hills. I saw it. Did you see the one I posted today?
Oh, no, I have not.
It's the Mexican word of the day.
I thought that was Yucca when I first opened it up.
So is that a fake city? No, I see cars in that picture.
Yeah, that's real.
That's real. Yeah.
It's obvious.
Oh wow.
The question is, the guy taking the pictures, is that guy real? Riddle me that, Casey.
I don't know.
Speaking of the fast food, have you heard this theory that if you order online, they give you less food than if you order in person? They do it with
fast.
Yeah.
So
fast food. Yeah.
I can tell you. I can tell you for sure. Do you guys have? Not everybody has these, so I don't want to assume everybody does. But do you have Torchy's tacos?
I do not. No.
When I order online, I get 1 chicken strip in my Trailer Trash Park tacos. When I go into the store and buy them, there's 2 chicken strips. I know for a fact.
Uber driver stealing it.
No, there isn't. I'm picking it up from the store. When I go to pick up the food directly as a takeout, I get 1 chicken strip. When I eat it in the store, I get 2.
That's some bullshit.
Yeah. I won't order out anymore from them because I think it's ridiculous that I'm getting chinced every single time.
And my order has been wrong quite a few times online. In person, they don't really mess it up.
I think part of the reason is that whatever foil it is that they use to wrap up the taco so that you can have it nice and warm when you get home is too small for them to put 2 chickens in it. And when they deliver it to you to your table, it's sent to you in a basket opened. So you can, and instead of rolled up in a foil thing. So I think that's part of the reason why they do it. So I just won't. I don't order to take out anymore. I'm getting gypped off.
That's why when I go to get ice cream, they hey, do you want to go? And I go, no, I don't want the lid. I want they give you more ice cream.
Mm-hmm. What about this? What's this bullshit? When I go get my breakfast and I say, you know what, I don't They give you 4 sausages. I said, let me replace them with bacon. Then they give me 3 bacon instead of 4 bacon.
Ain't that some shit?
That's some bullshit.
Yeah, man.
And why would one bacon equal the same thing as one sausage? That seems odd.
Right?
It
They should give you
does.
2 for
I
each
don't
one.
know. They're probably just saying that
Bullshit.
it's probably more expensive. But bacon's more expensive than sausage?
I don't know.
Yeah, I never understood why they did that. And they want to charge me like $2.50 for an extra bacon.
That's crazy.
What is it, numbers time?
Yeah, let's do it. I'll take you guys over to the other page here. I'm not going to be able to see what it is that you guys are saying, so hold those personal thoughts, comments, questions, concerns until you see the big tramp back up on the screen again.
Gotta go, guys. I'll catch you later. Sorry to interrupt.
Danny, take
See you
care,
guys.
man. Happy 4th.
Later. See you guys.
Damn it.
Yes. I'll try to hop in later. You guys.
Keep it tight.
Keep it tight.
This is going to be the last time I read numbers off to you guys because we close early. We close in a little less than an hour now. I'm actually probably just going to go grab a drink and then come right back over here because I don't even see the point in taking a break, honestly. So let's take a look and see what we got going on with these numbers here. Starting with off exchange, normally by this time of the day, I would expect to see off exchange right around, let's see, what are we at, 11 o'clock? 63% going through off exchange and EDGX combined. We have about 57.25% going through off exchange, EDGX at 9.85. The combined total net 67.1%. I said 63. I think I meant 60. No, it is 60. It would be 62% by now. So it's about 5.1% higher than what I would expect it to be by this time of the day. CHX volume is 4,704 shares. GME's CHX volume for the day today is coming in at 10,030 shares. Those numbers are not extremely elevated. Looks like there's been an additional 250,000 shares borrowed according to IBKR in the last hour. That's going to put us at 950,000 shares. It was 1 million shares yesterday, so we might see another 50,000 shares get loaned out here before the day is over. Fees are at 1.61%. According to Ortex, an hour ago, there was approximately 3 million shares borrowed for the day. That has not changed for AMC. So it's going to leave our estimated short share interest of the free float at 15.8%. Cost per mins at 2.73. Average is 2.74. Max is 4.33. 81.43 million shares are on loan for the day today. That's 6.54 million more shares on loan today than there was yesterday. And Ortex is estimating that 1.65 million of that is in new short interest. Taking a look at GME, there's 3.21 million shares borrowed so far for the day today. Taking a look at options. Highest amount of call volume so far for the day today is coming in at a $5 strike. $5.50 strike. There was 7,000 contracts an hour ago. It's now 10.4 thousand contracts. Highest amount of put volume also is, or still is at a $5 strike. It was 6.6 thousand contracts, 11.6 now. The market is still suggesting a closing price somewhere between $5 and $5.50, with $5 being max pain for the day today. Or actually for the week, really. Orders by Fidelity customers, AMC and GME are the only two I'm looking for on this list. GME is on here with a 55.65% buy to 44.35% sell ratio. AMC is not on the list. MMRI was 283.91 as of an hour ago. It's now 285.22. Starting to head back up. The rate, the spread between the 2-year and 10-year bond rates is currently at 0.341. It was 0.34 as of an hour ago, so not really much of a change. NASDAQ is up 0.7, Dow Jones is down 0.19, and the SP 500 is up 0.32. We have 3,216 advancers to 2,265 decliners. The market is more declining this hour than it was an hour ago, but not by a whole lot. Sectors that are doing poorly for the day today, the worst two are healthcare, followed by consumer staples. The top 2 performing sectors are technology, followed by, looks like, consumer discretionary. Of the Mag 7, 6 out of the 7 are green. Financial institutions that have changed more than 2.5% are going to get a shout out from yesterday's closing price. FRC is down 20%. Douche Stank has been stuck at 3. I want to look at this one real quick here. I feel like it's been stuck all day long at 3.5%. It's kind of weird. All right, it's up 3.5%. What else? That's about it. Gold is currently up 1.38 and is consolidating after trend up. Silver is up 3.46, consolidating after trend up. Ethereum Classic is down 1.66 and is consolidating. The US dollar is down 0.47 and starting to trend up after a downtrend to 105.05. Oil is up 2.27% and is consolidating after a trend up. Mortgage-backed securities are up anywhere from 0.48 to 0.5, but they are trending down. And SPY is up 0.28 and continuing to trend upwards at 550.65 with a 52-week high of 550.65, meaning we've hit an all-time new high, 52-week trend high, and all-time high. VIX is up right now for the day-to-day at 1.16 and continuing to trend upwards on the VIX, which is very surprising to see the market up, or especially the SPY up right now. With that being the case, it's at 12.17, with futures suggesting it should be around 13.28, so it's still a full point below. VB is up 0.21 and is consolidating after trend down. VBR is up 0.11 and trending down. Maybe a little bit of consolidation. Tesla is up 6.38 and is on a trend back up again. Amazon is down 1.08, consolidating after trend down. Cinemark is down 0.47 and is breaking back into a trend up after trending down. Doge is down 3.47 and continuing to trend down again. Bitcoin is down 1.15 and is consolidating with maybe a slight trend kind of forming, a slight trend up forming right now with what appears to be maybe a wedge starting to form here. If I were to draw this out, I'm not sure I can detect exactly which direction this is going to break, but I would probably draw something along the lines of this. Which would probably mean that there's going to be a break in direction of price movement not too long from now. Somewhere probably right around like an hour after market close. GME is currently up 1.3. Actually, hold on a second. Let me go back. GME is currently up 1.54 and is starting to trend back up after a downtrend. HYMC is up 8.7 and is consolidating after an uptrend. NCMI is up 2.48, consolidating after a downtrend. Hood is up 1.58 and consolidating after a downtrend. And AMC is down 2.69 and starting to break into an uptrend again after retesting 498. Currently, there's about 2.4 million, no, more than that. $2.6 million more inflow than outflow. 10.72 million shares traded so far for the day today. After 161 minutes worth of trading, we're on a pace for about 25.96 million shares. Don't forget that we have less time for the day today that we'll be seeing trading going on. So I'd have to probably reduce that 390 number by a little bit to kind of suggest what we would actually be seeing traded. I mean, we could probably divide the number in half and say like maybe that's going to be about what it is. So we're probably looking at like 13 million shares traded by the end of the day today, somewhere right around there. And I suggested in the pre-market that we would see somewhere between 10 and 30 million. So that looks like a good prediction. On a 4-hour time interval, we currently have more selling pressure than buying pressure than our side, 56.95, which is just slightly above average. On a 1-hour time interval, more selling pressure than buying pressure than our side, 44.73, which is slightly below average. On a 30-minute time interval, more buying pressure than selling pressure than our side, 40.13, which is below average. And on a 5-minute time interval, more buying pressure than selling pressure with a divergence on the vortex indicator currently occurring. Our side at 47.89, which is slightly below average. I want to go back to the 1 hour time interval, and you can see here that we have definitely broken out of how many day trading period is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We are on the 7th day trading period of an ascending parallel channel, and it looks like this is indeed the breakout to the bottom side of that channel, the retest $5 on AMC, and it does appear that we're trying to price is trying to attempt to drive back upwards again here, as it is retesting that $5 amount. And I think that's all I got for you guys. That's it. Now we get to just have fun for the rest of the day, and I think I'm going to go wet my whistle real quick. Yeah, Dario, I never do DoorDash. I'm not that, I can't afford that kind of, I got a big family here. I can't afford that kind of stuff. I quite honestly don't know anybody can afford, I know how much it costs to get that stuff done. I really don't know how anybody can afford to do DoorDash.
Hey, Casey.
Yeah.
Can I say a ticker?
No.
Was part of last time squeeze or no?
No.
So there's like pressure. No.
No. I'm not interested.
No, I've booted no fewer than 4 people. They're in here selling that to this day, and they're just going to create bag holders.
No, thank you. Let's see here. Let me go grab a drink real quick, and I'll be right back.
Yeah, I'm going to join you as well. Have myself a gummy.
Hey, Pirate, have a full one for today.
Well, I got myself a little. My protocol is simple. I take a half, and then I'll wait anywhere between an hour and a half or something, and I'll take the remainder of that, and it kind of spreads it out over a period of time. Yeah, I've got it down to a science.
Nice.
Just full send it, Pirate. Take the whole pack.
I just fall.
You really be on the move.
Yeah, go full send.
No, just be sleeping. There's no fun.
No.
There's no fun in that.
So I want to clarify. And so Donkey Kong, it's not about being elitist. It's more about knowing what was the panic in the marketplace and what came across when it came down to Congress doing a report and trying to find out what was happening during 2021 that was having such a problem. There was only 2 companies listed as problem areas, and they weren't all these other stocks that are being talked about. And so that when it comes to talking about different stocks out there, I'm not interested. I know which 2 are the ones that were the problem ones from the past, and those are the 2 that I want to focus on now. And it has nothing to do with elitism. Talk about it all you want to everywhere else. I'm just not interested in them here. And I don't mind talking about them offline either. But certainly it's not an elitist type issue.
You really got to be that hard on Pirate Coin, Casey?
Yeah. I think people, and I see people talking about halts. I think people really need to do some investigating. Like if you think that things aren't halting when they're supposed to halt, then I think you should refresh your memory on what actually creates a halt, because I think a lot of people don't understand what actually creates a halt. And so the whole idea that there's something nefarious that's happening to price movement, I've yet to see. I don't even know if there's been one time yet where I've been able to find an instance where it didn't halt when it was supposed to halt. Everybody suggests that halts aren't happening when they're supposed to happen, and yet they do. And so I find it really kind of ironic, and I think that people who don't understand what's going on, you're the person, if you're complaining about halts not happening, you're the person who needs to go out there and figure out why you have a misconception of what halts are supposed to look like.
Yeah, the error is yours.
Yep. It's not crime. You just don't know what the rule is. That's it. And I think it's really, really important that you should probably know what that rule is.
I think the community is what did that to most people, right? They started spreading around, oh, it's crime as a joke, but then people are starting to take it seriously that the halts are crime, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Versus knowing what it really is and what it means.
Yeah, it's really just kind of a matter of like understanding, that there's very technical formulas that are running in the background on a lot of the stuff that trigger these halts, and to suggest that somebody's not allowing the halts to happen when they're supposed to would mean that you basically have a market that's running without those kind of triggers set in place, and would be if you actually did find one, would be a very, very serious problem and should be pointed out. But the problem is that people keep pointing these no halt things up, and every time I go to review them, I find, it did what it was supposed to do.
And you're right. It's because of they don't understand what triggers the halt.
Yeah.
That 99% of the people out there who say halt, 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 crime, they think that it's just a reflection of a big movement in the stock. They think that that's the only thing that's required. And so they say to themselves, well, I saw a big movement on my stock and it was halted, but I saw a big movement over here and it wasn't halted.
Yeah.
Well, you got to understand, it's not just the big movement. There's several other things that trigger the halt. So again, people seize on something and then they run with it.
Yep. Pretty much.
And nobody's going off DAV. We're discussing it. It's, well, if you have a counterpoint, feel free to make it. There's nobody's going off. We're just giving our opinion on it. So by all means,
yeah,
feel free to point out what you think is a mistake in our analysis of this.
Yeah.
See, William Posner, here's a perfect example. He says halting the day before Independence Day is psychotic. Well, you got to understand, William, that the halt is a rule. It's a rule that's in there. It's been in there long before any of us fooled with this. It'll be there when we're gone. So they don't use the calendar. They don't say, oh, tomorrow is a holiday. We won't have any halts today. You're a perfect example of what I'm talking about. Halts are not created by some they just don't pull reasons out of their ass and say, well, we're going to halt it for this. That's exactly our point. I'm not trying to be rude or abrasive. I'm pointing out the silliness of the argument.
Is there an after hours market today or no?
There is. It goes until 5 p.m. Eastern.
Okay.
Yeah. But Donkey Kong, let me fix it for you. Hold on a second here, because you're close. I don't know how to. I don't know if it's just a computer thing or not, but it won't let me put in emojis easily. It's like I have to look them up. It's really lame that I'm not on a phone. Hold on a second here. So, it's so annoying. There you go. I changed it just a smidgen, because it does make a little bit of a difference. I wish it wasn't so difficult to put in. I wish my computer worked the same way that my phone does, where when you just type in a word, it puts up suggestions and stuff. That would be really nice. Why doesn't Windows do that? Windows, you suck. Now I can't even make these stupid emojis go away. Whatever.
Hey, Casey, can you pull up your chart for pre-market for AMC?
Mm-hmm.
I was looking this morning and I wasn't showing anything from 4 to 4:30. Did they open late today?
No, yeah. So when I came in and I started the live stream, if you go back and you look at it, I actually started the ask side of the bid and the ask order book was completely empty. And as I was sitting there watching, I was like, I started to wonder if I was even streaming. I was like, is my internet down? Because I thought like maybe it had just stopped reporting. And so there was a period of time in here. So it says here at 4:30. Let's see, 4:30. There's some gaps in here in times where there's some trades that were made. So we got big gaps. Let me see where the biggest one is at here. Here's a 5:55 to 6:09. And then from 6:09 to 7:15, there's not a single trade made. Now 7:15 is Eastern Standard Time, and I start streaming at I'm supposed to start streaming at 6, but I usually start a little late, right? So that's the time frame in there where it was basically just stuck on price right here at 6:09. The 6:09 was the last price showing. So go back to the beginning of the live stream, and you'll see I noticed it too. Yep, absolutely. Low liquidity is usually what whenever I see these rabbit pellets like this, that's the first thing in my mind that pops up is that somebody's short on shares. They don't have enough shares out there to make a market. And so then you see the very first thing that will pop up is the pokey stick of volume. And what that is a representation of is the banks opening up and allowing trades to go through again, and people can start borrowing shares once again. And once that starts happening, then the liquidity flows. And the rabbit pellets disappear, and instead of seeing rabbit pellets around, you end up getting actual bars of trades that go through. So yeah, yep, I saw it too.
I was watching GME on Robinhood, and from 4 o'clock to 4:30, there was zero volume and no price movement.
Mm-hmm. Kind of crazy, right? It was like
they
just stopped. They decided to stop everything and just not do anything at all, right?
Yeah, I went and started Googling other trading platforms to see like, was it just Robinhood or what? But it seemed like nobody was trading it from 4 to 4:30.
Let's see here. All right, there you go, Donkey Kong. Deviant Ways says, I'm a firm believer in market manipulation. I am too. I am absolutely. And if somebody were to say like, hey, I've seen instances where stocks stopped trading before and it shouldn't have, I would say that's definitely been the case. I know I can think of and I'm not going to say which stock it is, but I can think of definitely a stock out there that's had that happen, and it's under investigation even to this day. So I do think that there are some stock manipulative type actions that occur in the marketplace, but I have to say, like 99% of the time when somebody mentions to me that a stock didn't trip a halt like it should have during some price movement, then they just, they're usually just wrong about it because they don't understand what the rules are for those halts. I've tried to program in what I just lost it. A Pine script for and I even tried to get Astro back in the day when Astro was still kind of big in the community and helping out. Tried to get him to work on it, but I never was able to get him to talk to me at all. But I was trying to get a Pine script going for the halt so that people could actually see the bands coming on a trading view indicator that would show you when the halt was going to occur if it tripped past a certain price at a certain time by a certain time. But it ended up being way too difficult to try and get all the parameters set in there so that it was so that we could have an indicator that would show it. But it would be something kind of like a Bollinger Band. And if you saw price moving over a certain amount, over a certain period of time, that Bollinger Band would kind of change over time and show you where the halt points would be at. But, yeah.
that indicator would have to be super fast, though.
No, not really. It just tracks price as it's
No?
moving. No.
Correct. But the way it halts, I mean, within a minute or 5 minutes, it halts. So that indicator would have to be pulling that information pretty quick.
I mean, it just has to track where price is moving towards, and then it should be able to set up. You should be able to set up limits so you can see where those limits are for those halts, and you could have a band limit for both your, because there's different types of halts, and you could have a band limit for volatility. You could have a band limit for price movement as well, and those band limits would give you an idea as to where those different halting price or volatility limits might occur at. And
I see what you're saying. It's going to go off the actual price. It's monitoring the actual price.
Well, it's looking at the past 5 minutes of price movement is all it has to do.
Yeah.
And it would just have to run a constant, every time a minute ended, it would be running a previous lookup of data from the last 5 minutes.
Recalculation of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
But it would show you when the halt is about to occur, and you could see it coming, at least. And my hope in creating that a long time ago when I wanted to do it was that I could eliminate the fear out of the people who were watching for halts, because I wanted people to be able to have an indicator that could actually show them where the halt was going to occur, when it was about to occur. That way they could expect it, and then that way you've eliminated the fear out of people on halts. But like I said, it never came to fruition.
Lost about a lot of people there.
What's that?
Everyone's quiet.
Yeah.
I said we lost a lot of people there. But it's a good idea. I like it.
I mean, it's an idea, but it never came to fruition, so it doesn't really matter. Manjit, Novocaine, good to see you guys in the back of the Big Tramp. Quack Quack, welcome. Quack Quack was actually here first this morning.
Yeah, I'm the one that's talking to you.
One timer says, "Ooh, a challenge script." It's not really a challenge. I mean, if you want to script it, go for it. It would certainly take, I think, a lot of pressure off of individuals from calling it crime, because I think that's the big problem in the community is calling something crime that's not crime. And it's like when you have people who are constantly saying that what's that one where the kid what does he say? He says the dam is leaking, or the boy. Yeah, it's basically the boy who cried wolf. Yeah, and when you have too many people crying wolf all the time, and there's no wolf,
it finally happens, and the village doesn't listen to him.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's really kind of important, I think, in a way, to eliminate those. It actually makes us it makes us look really stupid too. Because you can only imagine people on Wall Street are sitting there looking at what it is that we're saying, and we're going crime, 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 and it's like very obviously not crime, and they're going like, yeah, see how stupid these guys are? They can't even tell when a halt's supposed to happen, and it's just kind of like, okay, well, how do you stop that from happening? I guess educate
it's
people.
Something I feel passionately about. It's one thing if you want to go down the whole flat Earth thing for a joke, or the whole NASA moonshot, all that stuff. If you're approaching it from humor or trolling, that's fine. But I'm going to put forth this, and I hope I don't insult anybody. Truth. Serious, intelligent people, if they hear somebody that really spouts that nonsense, they immediately discount them. They no longer view their opinions as valid because it's just so silly.
Yeah.
And like I said, I'm not saying if you're just engaging upon it to be funny or a joke or whatever. But if you sit down with serious people, knowledgeable people, and come out with that kind of stuff and really try to sell it as a theory, then they're done with you. They may not tell you out of politeness. They may not say it. They may just smile. But I promise you, what they say inside is, I'm done with this.
I don't have
no longer
time.
need to.
Yeah, I don't have time for you.
I don't have time for this. Exactly. And it's the truth.
Yeah. Hey, can I bring up something else though? I was saying, like, they could use real footage and stage footage, But see, I don't have any doubts about the moon stuff, But what makes those kind of things like have wings is like, have you looked into like Operation Northwoods?
I don't know. No.
Well, if you just in your free time look for Operation Northwoods, there's a whole bunch of things that get floated up to the government, up to the tops, and like they're pretty like, morally either over the line or near the line, or Yeah. And that's where people get like, the government, governments and anybody can do certain things if they think it's justified, Because like right now, like one party thinks that the Supreme Court over jumped, right? The other side thinks that the courts over jumped, the lower courts over jumped, and so we set up a bad precedent, right? But like basically both sides view the other side as, waging war in the courts, and it like undermines the Constitution. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like if everybody's not playing by the rules, then it's like it's open season, So like one wrong makes a right because another person did a wrong before that, Like,
do you ever feel like you have so much stuff coming at you that sometimes you're not even sure what you should believe?
Exactly.
Do you think that's on?
So
do you ever wonder?
That was my whole point.
Do you ever wonder if that's maybe by design?
Yeah, I do. I wonder. Yeah, I wonder all the time. Yeah.
So why do you still partake in the collection of all the insanity?
I mean, when the Supreme Court does something, or when the
okay. All right. You see what I'm saying though. Like if you're gonna go on tangents off of so let's draw like a bell curve, right? Let's draw. I'm gonna throw up a little bell curve in here. Right? We'll just make a. I gotta find a little section in here I can copy without anything in it. So we'll throw up on the board here. We'll throw up a little section of a bell curve, and we'll say anything that is insane. We'll call it insane, and we'll call everything on the other side like overly scientific, or we'll put scientific proof. We'll put an SP over here, right? And everything else like maybe like within one or two deviation away from the ends, or everything out here is considered an outlier, right? So you got these like. Actually, it would be a lot more than what I just drew. But everything in here, in between, is common sense, right? You have common sense in here. Instead of have idiots or people who are scientifically proven, you have common sense in between as the majority of the information. And you're being sold information that's over here, right? And you're being sold information that's over here. And instead of living in the middle and saying that, of believing one side or the other, you keep on dabbling over this direction. You keep on heading over to that idiotic, unproven sciences, and you're trying to grasp onto things that are outside of normalcy, and you're holding on to that and saying like, but there's this, and so therefore but without listening to common sense, and you don't even have to listen to the scientifically proven side of things either. But still within common sense, you still tend to drag yourself towards the side. And all this stuff is pulling you in both directions, right? Both the scientifically proven things are pulling you this direction, and the idiotic nonsense is pulling you in that direction. It's always pulling you in both directions, all the time. And you want to live in this world where you're being pulled in both directions, when in actuality, what all it's really trying to do is just trying to keep you confused. Because instead of being commonplace, the C, which is the commonplace, or having common sense, you now become confused because you're stuck in the middle and you don't know what to believe anymore.
Yeah,
So where do you want to really live? Do you want to live life in a confused state, or do you want to live life in a state where some things make sense and some things don't make sense, and that's okay?
Not sure what you mean by that.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, what I'm saying, what I'm saying is you can't be an expert in all things, and you can't common sense in all things.
Yeah, but so what? Yeah, you try to dabble into some of the things that don't make much sense, or you also try to dabble into things. You try to dabble outside of your realm, right? On both sides, maybe both sides of it. So you just end up becoming more and more confused. And so then you don't know what's right and what's wrong. Instead of living in a common sense world where things make sense to you and things don't make sense to you, and living in that world, you try to dabble outside of that world and become more confused.
If you consider, first thing you need to do is ask yourself, whose opinion would you respect? Do you respect a man like Ben Carson, first neurosurgeon to separate conjoined twins? Do you respect perhaps take airline pilots, for example? It's a very rigorous training. It takes a high level of education. There's a long path to achieving being a brain surgeon or an airline pilot or any number of those things. So doesn't it stand to reason that they represent the smartest of us or the most educated of us? And why is it that you can never find anyone in those groups who buy into all this foolishness? It's always, and you said before, somebody said before, well, it gives wings to it. Well, just because 1,000 people seize on some foolishness on the internet and pass it back and forth like it's the latest, greatest thing, I think sometimes it's all just meant to give someone some emotional trick, some emotional warm blanket that like they're in the secret club now that they have discovered something that no one else knows of. And I don't know what they think they're getting out of it other than the pleasure of being a part of something that's like exciting or newsworthy. But I find it hard to believe that people don't ask themselves, why is there not a group of people who espouse these views who are highly intellectual or highly educated? That's the part I grapple with.
What did they say? There was somebody said something I heard once before, and it was something along the lines of never argue with a fool. He has way more experience in what he's talking about than you. And I think that's kind of that's probably something you should kind of consider, is like hold on to the idea of what. I guess the common sense part here is where, when you take those leaps outside into those boundaries of like what's real and what's not real, you run the risk of forgetting what's important. And so you're just left confused. I keep going back to that whole confused thing, but it really is. And I saw somebody put in here, 32C Viper, 32C Viper says, I will make sense of the info, but information overload is a thing you have to manage, learn to filter through it. And that's really what it comes down to is you have to kind of add filters to your life and decide which parts of things. I mean, there's obviously scientific proven things that you and I both will never understand, like black holes, quantum entanglement, all that kind of crap. Like you and I are probably both never going to understand things in that sense unless we would really try super, super hard at understanding it. And I would have to be something we would want to desire to do, but probably have no desire for. Well, as much as we don't dabble in that, we shouldn't probably be dabbling in the other side as well. Do you see where I'm going with that? But yet so many people are led towards dabbling in the things that make absolute zero sense because they're trying to make sense of something that they just don't understand. And instead of just not understanding it, they dabble into the side of it that just doesn't make sense. for whatever reason. And they listen to the quote unquote theories of people who are uneducated or people who might be educated but are just spouting off crazy ass shit that nobody else agrees with. Except for them.
Don't misunderstand me, Yucca. I wasn't being specific to somebody who went to school and got a degree. There's many forms of education. When I say a highly educated person, I mean someone who is knowledgeable in a vast array of subjects, not somebody who holds a degree in engineering, so therefore he thinks he can speak over all topics. I think you missed the larger point I was trying to make. You know? If you seek out the counsel of fools, then don't be surprised if you're led astray. If you surround yourself with people who engage in foolish thought or frivolous attitudes, don't be surprised if the majority of your thinking doesn't head in that direction. That's all I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. Looks like green's winning, but Donkey Kong. 41%. 41% say green, 29% say red. 2 weeks gets 29% as well. Had to throw in that random one in there for those who just didn't care.
I typed it in the chat earlier, but it's worth me repeating verbally. None of my comments were directed to any specific person unless I named you. I meant it more as far as disparaging the country or America's exceptionalism in the space race and all that. I didn't mean those to be insulting to any individual engaged in the conversation. I meant it more in the sense of when I said they are being disrespectful, I meant the world at large, the people who would wish to diminish an American achievement. That's where that was from. So I hope that had some clarity. I wasn't intended to be insulting to any individual.
But it's not it's not just a U.S. achievement that's occurred though. Right, like
no,
I would.
He literally said one small step for man, one large leap for mankind.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, and I would venture to say that there's actually been quite an extensive amount of bravery on multinational levels where we've seen people do the space race and do amazing and learn amazing things, and all the technology that's been learned from all that has benefited us. As time has gone on. So we've definitely benefited from a lot of the money that we've put into NASA and the research that comes out of it. It just doesn't really show all the time. Like we don't see the direct effect of it, but I do believe that there is an indirect impact on maybe even say things like materials that we manufacture with. Or, building structures, lots of different stuff.
Well, all that space exploration, what's up there. I mean, these, trying to harvest some of those commodities of rare rock or whatever the hell it is. There's some pretty valuable stuff up in space.
Yeah. What was that movie where they tried to bring back an asteroid? That movie cracks me up a little bit. Found that one kind of funny. There was like a guy. I don't remember the name of the movie, but the guy was like an Apple Steve Jobs kind of guy, and he or maybe Bill Gates kind of guy, and he basically like convinces the Earth that they need to somehow lasso a asteroid and bring it in so they can mine off the asteroid, and it turns out that they like bring it in towards the Earth, and it's on like on a crash course and they can't stop it. I don't remember what it was called though.
Speaking of space and academics, you hear about not really a feud, but the confrontation between Neil deGrasse Tyson and Clarence Howard, I think.
Is it interesting?
Sorry, it's Terrence Howard. I had to look it up real quick. So Terrence Howard, actor, I'm not really familiar with his work, but he came out with a math theory. I think it was back in like 2015 or something like that. Anyway, he was like an acquaintance of the astrophysicist Neil deGrasse Tyson, and he submitted to him. He said, "Hey, send me what you have, and I'll take a look at it." And in the academic field, it's normal when you submit a theory for the person, if they have respect for you, to be very critical of your theory and determine if there's anything that may be incorrect before you go to like trying to publish it and stuff like that. So one, you don't get embarrassed, and two, if you have an ability to critique something and then correct it, maybe you can get somewhere. Well, in essence, the beginning of the theory started off with a factually incorrect assumption or an assertion related to square roots and positive numbers. He didn't take into account like square or fractions of numbers rather than whole numbers. Anyway, so his response back was just a critical response to his paper, and then Terrence Howard took it so personally that he would just like discount him, so poorly, and then started talking bad about an academic who actually knew what he was talking about. And so that's kind of where you were talking to. There's certain things in the academic circles that you're required to do in order to ensure that the academic research and the theories and stuff are borne out properly. And someone who just starts dabbling in that area without knowing a little bit more can think they're on the right track or something without realizing, hey, if you base your theory on a factually incorrect assertion, then the rest of your theory is going to be incorrect.
Right.
Anyway, it's an interesting story. It's interesting to hear Neil deGrasse Tyson speak about it.
They call it a proof? I forget. I can't remember.
I don't know if this one specifically was that, but I mean, that's certainly part of it.
I think I picked up a copy of the, gosh, what year was that? I don't remember what year it was. One of the.
Am I live?
Yeah, you're on here.
All right, go ahead.
One of the, I think it was Columbia when it blew up, and it was the documentation or the final report that was put out by NASA on everything that went down with what went wrong to cause that to happen. And the thing was, it was so hard to read through. It was just like, I mean, I felt like you took like a room full of just some of the smartest people in the whole wide world and just put a bunch of crap into it. And I say crap as if it was. As if it was crap, it wasn't crap at all. It was just a bunch of, it was really technical reading. And I had a hard time making through any of it because I really wanted to make some sense of everything. And man, talk about some difficult reading. It was tough.
Well, Casey, Pirate, anything you say, I don't take offense.
No, I know. I wasn't talking about you, though. I was never once talking about you.
Pirate. No, I know.
Well, I wasn't either. You're the last person I worry about, Yucca.
Yeah,
I never worry about offending you. You and I have been. I just wanted to make sure that other people didn't take a personal offense to my opinions.
But here, look, this is one thing that I have a problem with. Why would NASA go and lie about these what do we call them? What do we call them? The people that go inside, like the Challenger, like the
astronauts.
Astronauts, I guess. Back in 1986, the Challenger exploded. They said that all of them died.
Oh, Challenger, thank you.
In 1986, if you Google it, the shuttle that exploded, and then there was like I want to say, I don't know, like 8 passengers or 7. They're all dead.
Yeah.
A few years later, they're walking around. They found them. They're like out. Some of them.
See, we've covered this. We've covered this. We've covered this before. What's your source for this? And it's always the internet. So I saw fucking a meme of Abraham Lincoln playing yeah.
No,
Do me a
what's the
favor.
source of anything?
Do me a favor. Let me ask you a question. What was
They're
the
alive. They're
what,
all alive.
what was the
Somebody-
highest grossing? Let me do you a favor. What was the highest? And this was actually a family. We just turned into a family fight here in the Shaw household. Do me a favor and go Google. Go Google. What was the highest grossing animated movie ever? And come back and tell me what the answer is. And then you tell me if you think that's right or wrong. Just go look it up.
Fantasia.
Highest grossing animated movie ever. Opening week. Make it opening week. Opening week. Opening week, highest grossing animated. Don't look
Aladdin?
don't tell me. I want you to go look up opening week, highest grossing animated movie.
Okay, let me see. Okay, highest grossing worldwide.
Worldwide opening week.
Let me see.
Find out what you get for an answer and then tell me if you think it's correct or if it's false.
Okay, 1 second. Okay, we gotta go and get a couple of sources because I can't just go to one source.
Absolutely.
Yaka, the Challenger crew wasn't hanging out with Tupac, were they?
Yeah, they were. I'm giddy.
And I'm gonna show you how much I appreciate you looking this up because I'm gonna stay on later than I'm supposed to.
Highest grossing movie. Opening movie?
Opening weekend.
Animated. You have to say animated.
Has to be animated. You should already know the answer. You should already know the answer. You should already known the answer, but I want to hear what Google says.
I want to make sure.
What does Google say?
I want to. So it's saying Lion King.
Oh yes, that's
different places.
Yes, yeah, that's okay. So you got Lion King, okay, and keep going.
Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Let me make sure. Hold on 1 second.
I'm actually going to tell you right now that you're going to find that to be on multiple sources that's going to be the answer that you're going to find. What I'm also going to tell you is to go look at actually how much, if you go and you actually look and see how much it made and you compare that to what's happened within the last 3 years, you're going to find a drastically different answer.
Right.
Who's got the hot mic?
Novocaine has a hot mic. Novocaine, you're bleeding over.
Hey, sorry. Okay, I keep getting that.
Yeah.
And I can the internet. I have the internet.
Yeah.
Like, where else are you gonna go?
So yeah. So do you see where I'm going with this though? Like you're getting the wrong answer.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's the right answer?
Well, go look up Super Mario's and see how much that made in contrast to the Lion King opening weekend and see what the difference is.
So the question, okay, Super Mario, why are they not putting that out there?
Do you see where I'm going with this, Yucko? Can you trust the internet to give you the right answers?
Maybe somebody benefits Yucca from telling you that it wasn't, so that there's always a benefit to be had usually.
So in other words, you got to question everything. That's the bottom line.
Yes, but there are some things that you don't even have to question because you've lived through it and you already should know the answer. Right?
Right.
Yeah. So sometimes you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You already know that the wheel fucking works. So why reinvent it if you already know that it works? Because there's no sense in doing that. But everybody wants to try and reinvent something because it makes them, for some reason or another, popular, or it gives them an advantage, or it gives them credibility, or a following.
That was my point, is that people, if people engage in it because somehow or another it's exciting, or it gives them some sort of an edge, like they're in the inside secret handshake club, that they know this thing that nobody else knows. The price that they get paid for that, the price that they pay for that brief moment of notoriety in the spotlight, is that other people may look at them with a less than respectful attitude going forward from that, because it reveals gullibility. It really does.
I keep getting 1.3.
1.3
Mario Brothers.
And how much did you get for Lion King?
1.6
billion.
Yeah.
Come on.
billion. Yeah,
You got
1.6 billion.
1.6 billion on opening weekend for Lion King.
That's what I got. It's on WikiLeaks, and I went.
Now you should be really suspicious. You should be really super suspicious at this point.
Hold on a minute.
Yeah. You should be really suspicious at this point because I guarantee you it didn't break 1 billion.
1.663 billion.
No.
Box office, yes.
No.
And
so Inside Out didn't make that like so far since it's out. I think they didn't even make 1 billion yet since it's out. And Lion King made that in the first weekend. Yaka, there's like
109
when
box office.
Obvious,
opening weekend.
Opening weekend for Lion King, 191.8 million.
190. Yeah, 191.
191.8 million.
Opening is what I missed. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yes, I mistyped in there.
Yeah.
You miss a lot of openings.
But okay, yeah, that's right.
Yes.
You're 100% right.
Yeah. So this is why I'm talking about this. Is the internet is a very dangerous place to be getting information from, and you need to fact check everything. And when you find a smidgen of a doubt, you should definitely be questioning any source that's suggesting anything otherwise than what you know is being true. Smidgen of a doubt.
So where do we go?
Let me ask you.
Not the internet.
Yucca, I have your answer. I have an answer for you. Yucca, let me ask you this. Yes. Where did people go before the internet? It isn't like the fucking internet's been here for hundreds of years. Since the time of Aristotle and Thucydides and the great thinkers and the philosophers of Greek times all the way to modern times, they didn't have the fucking internet in its cesspool of garbage. So where did all those people go? They went to books because you couldn't publish a book with fucking nonsense. It took money, it took effort. Now, so to answer your question, where do you go? Seek other sources of information that might not lend themselves to such bullshit. You know, that's the problem. That modern day today, everybody thinks that the internet is like the holy grail of source of information.
I think
it's really a giant bowl of shit with a few nuggets of gold in the bottom.
Yeah. Hey, we're in the stage of deception. AI is here. We don't know what's real. We don't know what's fake.
And don't pull your information off Wiki, please, ever.
So I guess I've opened a door, and I shouldn't have opened the door.
Yaka, I have some bad news for you. All those virgin hookers you slept with.
They're not virgins. They're all lady boys. Damn it.
But I hope you can see now that even something so simple as asking a question of what movie made the most on an opening weekend is completely altered because time everybody wants to change or the perception of what time has told you, and for whatever reason it may be, who knows? Maybe it's just maybe it's meant to confuse you on purpose. I have no idea what the reason for it is, but you can't trust.
But what about?
You can't trust anything that you just get off the internet and run with it and be like, yeah, that's got to be something because somebody said so on the internet. It's like that's way too dangerous.
Astronaut.
You lived through it, man. You lived through it.
Let me interrupt you guys for just a second. Dirty Bird had a comment. He said, "But people are getting rid of books they don't like at the library." Dirty Bird, it's not my position that you can't go to the internet to get a book. If you go to the internet and you download a book that was written by a well-known author and you get that book, that's the same as going to a library. I'm not arguing for going to a physical library and getting a physical book. I'm saying that when you go to a source of information on the internet, maybe consider staying away from some obscure website ran by some 26-year-old kid who has theories of the world being flat, and maybe crack a book that was written by a respected geographer or a writer about physics or any number of those things. I'm just saying there's an abundance of information that's existed in the world that is truthful, and that was always. And there's exceptions to every rule. I'm not saying libraries didn't have books in them but overall it was generally accepted that the information was fairly accurate. But somehow or another that's been lost. So I'm just saying I'm not saying you can't go to the internet for the book. I'm saying where are you going for the source of information? And that's the point.
And everybody's an expert nowadays, right? Because they've got the internet.
Exactly. And they don't know shit. After they learned a few words, they picked up a few catchphrases here or there that gives the impression that they're knowledgeable about a specific topic, and they don't know their ass from a hole in the ground.
All right, I got to end the day, guys. It is unfortunately that time of the day, and I appreciate you going through that exercise and looking that up, Yick. I really do, because I think it's enlightening and shows how crazy this world is that we live in. You know?
Yeah, it's full of crap.
I mean, we literally like just lived through that. We should all know that name as being the highest. I mean, it was even told to us that it was the #1 animated movie when it happened opening weekend. We all found that out. That was all told to us when it happened. And yet you can literally go to the internet and find that that's not the truth anymore, according to the internet. But you lived through it.
But they still keep pushing that crap.
But you lived through it.
Pushing that crap. Yeah.
It's a real disservice to mankind, because there are people who genuinely want to know. There are young minds who are curious, as they should be, and they want to know about things. And then when they get filled with such nonsense, it's harmful to them. And I think the people that engage upon it should be ashamed of themselves.
Okay. Yeah. Good candle. Yeah. We squeezing?
Oh, I don't know. But it is that time of the day, though. I do know that.
You don't finish the poll.
Second half of my gummy.
Well, I love everybody.
Me too, man. Me too.
Even though we have
disagreements or not.
Disagreement.
Yeah, disagreements or not, I still do.
Well, that's how your body too. Your body disagrees with itself sometimes. And
yep. Drink Red Bull.
Live with it.
My body's like, don't drink this shit, you dumbass. And my brain goes, but I need it.
If you're spending time with friends and family, I'll just leave you with everybody with this. Just like you said, Casey, to agree to disagree with family, friends, especially around drinking and good times around the 4th. Let's go. Just remember, it's okay to agree to disagree.
And remember not to be me and have your digits come Friday. I don't want to hear anybody losing their digits. Don't be a dumbass like Casey.
Don't give it up so easy. Let them work for it.
All right. Take care, guys. Have a happy 4th of July.
All right.
I'll come to the back of the big tramp here in just a minute. Well, guys, I hate to break it to you, but it is that time of the day. And I hope you guys have a wonderful 4th of July. Eat, sleep, drink, get plenty of rest. Tomorrow is not another training day, but I will see you again on Friday. Spend time with your family. Spend time with your friends. Take your pets out for a walk and maybe give them some cotton balls in their ears for the 4th of July. But above all else, go see an AMC movie because after all, that's what we're here to do, is support AMC. But above all else, don't have a good night. Have a great night. Beep, beep. Getting cold, you're needing a shoulder. Puff out your chest and be a little bolder. All we do is we buy and hold. There will be shills who want to steal your thrills. There will be friends who hold till the end. There will be doubt, fear and cloud, but it's all in your head. Those hedges are dead. Panic and fear really are near, but it's not ours to own. We have shown that all we do is buy and hold. Oh, there will be shills who wanna steal your thrills, and there will be friends who hold till the end, and there will be doubt, fear and cloud, but it's all in your head. Those hedges are dead. So when the night's getting colder, you're needing that shoulder, 'cause Ape's got your back. We got each other, all we do is we buy and hold.
T-minus 90 seconds and counting. All systems are go. We're about 90 seconds from the launch of Space Shuttle Discovery. T-minus 60 seconds and counting. We are transferring to orbiter internal power at this time. Discovery is now running off its 3 onboard fuel cells. Coming up on a go for auto sequence start. And we have a go for auto sequence start. Discovery's onboard computers have primary control of all the vehicle's critical functions. T-minus 17 seconds and counting. 15, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, start, 2, 1, booster ignition, and liftoff of the Space Shuttle Discovery, returning to the space station, paving the way for future missions beyond. Now converging. Discovery's onboard computers commanding the main engine nozzles to swivel, aiming the shuttle for its precise target in space for main engine cutoff.
Should have a good forward link now on SM.
Okay, you sound good.
Discovery Houston, negative return.
Copy, negative return.
I get up, I get down, and I'm jumping around, and the rumpus and ruckus are comfortable now. Been a hell of a ride, but I'm thinking it's time to grow. So I got an apartment across from the park, put quinoa in my fridge, still I'm not feeling grown. Been a hell of a ride, but I'm thinking it's time to go.
Here we go.
So put your best face on, everybody pretend you know this song. Everybody come hang, let's go out with a bang. I'm way too young to lie here forever, I'm way too old to try. So whatever, come hang, let's go out with a bang. Feel like I'm gonna puke, cause my taxes are due. Do my password begin with a 1 or a 2? Been a hell of a ride, but I'm thinking it's time to grow.
Metronome.
Man, I'm up to something. Oodie-la-dee-do, thank you all for coming. I hope you like the show, cause it's on a budget. So oodie-la-dee-do, yeah. Come on, here we go, yeah. Come on.
Here we go.
So put your best face on, everybody pretend you know this song. Everybody come hang. Let's go out with a bang. I'm way too young to lie here forever. I'm way too old to try, so whatever, come hang. Let's go out with a bang. So put your best face on, everybody pretend you know this song. Everybody come hang. Let's go out with a bang.
Here we go.
So put your best